Oh my gosh, our live tour to the UK, Ireland and Berlin is on sale right now. We are coming over in November 2024 to do many, many shows. Jess, what cities are we hitting up as I pass the list to you?
Well, Dave, we're going to be hitting Berlin, Edinburgh, Belfast, Dublin, Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham, Bristol and London.
My God.
Huge. Big
They've
tour.
done it.
We haven't been for a few years.
That's
and we've
right.
never been to Belfast and we've never been to Berlin.
Yep.
We've heard both of those places are very nice.
That's right. And they love to sell out shows,
Yes,
right,
they
guys?
do. Yes, they do.
We've heard that because I told you both that. They're great. I've had great times in both places.
Yep. Irish bars in both of them.
Do they have Irish bars
Particularly Belfast.
in Belfast?
Yeah, of course.
Interesting. Well, if you want to join us on this cultural extravaganza, you can get tickets right now at dogoonpod.com.
Ryan Reynolds here.
Details.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs, tycoons, and business magnates to stand out and succeed online. Okay, I added that bit in. Whether it's your first ever website or your business is expanding, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website and engage with your fantastic audience.
Which bit did you add in?
Tycoons and magnates. 'Cause I
Oh,
thought
that felt natural.
Yeah.
you.
It
That
felt
felt right.
two of my favourite words.
I recently redid my website with Squarespace, and can I just say it was very, very easy to do. Very user-friendly. I loved it. And you can actually get help writing the content for your website as well if you're not sure how to really sell your brand. You can use Squarespace AI. You can generate instant personalized results that highlight your brand identity. You can explain what your site's about, what you're selling, what you want people to get from your website, and it can create short and long form text for you.
That's amazing
So
technology.
cool.
Jess, could you just quickly, I know you're basically human AI.
Yes.
What's my brand identity?
Red, idiot, sleepy, beer.
No, I didn't ask for the Seven Dwarfs, Jess.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like the AI knows him perfectly.
Squarespace also has the tools you need to create and sell your own online course and customize everything with next generation editing technology. We're not using the last generation or even the one before. We're using the next one, not even the current one.
Next one. We're ahead of the game.
You can create engaging lessons your audience will love. Then set the price. You can charge a one-time fee or sell subscriptions. Take what you know and turn it into income, not outcome. What? With Squarespace courses. I added that bit in.
It wasn't clear which bit.
And speaking of setting the price as well, you can also make checkout seamless for your customers with multiple payment options. You can accept credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, and in eligible countries, you can offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay.
Wow, and if this sounds as good to you as it sounds to me, you can head to squarespace.com/dogoon for a free trial and to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. One more time, go to squarespace.com/dogoon. Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky, and as always, I'm here with Jess Perkins and Matt Stewart.
Hello.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Jess. What a pleasure to be here in the podcast studio here at Stupid Old Studios.
Where we don't live.
No. That is weird. That is weird that seems to have been insinuated online.
We don't live in this room.
On the Reddit? Did you see it on the Do Go On Reddit?
I just want to know where people are getting their information.
Because that's crazy.
And that photo is clearly doctored.
Yeah,
I wasn't in my jocks out the front scratching my balls reading the morning paper. That didn't happen here at Stupid Old Studios.
happen here.
They took that photo from my home.
Which you have.
And they chopped it out and put it out the front of Stupid Old Studios,
It
which
was
is
a
a place
joke.
that don't live.
It was a joke if
Yeah.
if anything. Yeah. So it's crazy that people think we live here because we don't. We arrive here, we do our
Come
work,
on.
and then we
Yeah,
leave
we
here.
leave.
Every time.
We've been outside of this place.
Of course.
Far beyond the welcome mat where you might be in your jocks in the morning.
Sure.
Hypothetically.
if you were to live here, hypothetically.
Yeah.
I keep all my clothes here, but that's just for convenience.
Yes.
convenience.
Well, you like to get changed mid-pod. You do a
Exactly.
Taylor Swift
Yeah.
five times changed pod.
Correct.
Which is what she's famous for
Exactly,
as well.
yeah. Her podcasts are wild. And so's mine.
Yeah.
I'm wearing black pants now, but by the end of it, blue.
Brown.
Well, that's in the middle.
That's before the change.
You can't turn black into brown. I said, yes, I can.
I think you'll find.
You're a real
I can.
illusionist. Practical magic. Anyway, what's this show about, Jess, again?
This show is about the three of us and our friendship,
Yes,
ultimately.
It's documenting 9 years of friendship now, isn't it?
Yeah, you could go back to the start and hear us hate each other.
Very frosty.
Yeah, frosty. Your hate's too strong. We don't know each
He
other.
just didn't know you.
We were sent in a room together by our producers.
Yeah.
Because we are what do you call those things that are like an industry thing? A plant. We're a plant.
We're industry plant.
We're industry plant.
Yes.
We're 3 industry plants and we were planted together
Yeah, that's right.
by the industry.
We were created by Simon Cowell.
Yes.
Yes. And so you can hear us get along. But while we're learning about each other, we're also learning about different topics. We've done all sorts of things, from Dolly Parton to Bigfoot. And how that works is one of us goes away, researches a topic, often suggested to us by our wonderful listeners. We live in it, we bathe in it, we become experts in it, and we come back and we tell the other 2 about it, who listen politely, never interrupt, and never say anything dumb or inappropriate.
And never say die.
Never.
Never.
Yeah. And
unless
you
have a gun to our head.
You'll actually be really impressed. What sets us apart as well is that we never speak over each other.
Never.
It never happens. It's the craziest thing.
And I'll stop you there, Jess. As a feminist, I think it's important for the people who believe in feminism, which I do, and that is to raise up people like you, Jess, and not to talk over, not to talk over people like you, people like you, which I think of as women.
Yeah,
and that's just me. But I.
What about people like Dave?
If you would let me finish.
Can I talk?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. So it's Jess's turn this week to report on a topic.
Yes.
And of course, we'd love to hear what you're going to say. But before you get to that, we always start with a question.
Mm-hmm.
Famously, Jess, you don't always have a question locked and loaded.
I certainly don't have one when I arrive here first thing in the morning. Of course not. But
when you arrive, yes.
When I arrive, which I do.
Yeah, not when you wake up.
In my car, I drive here. I go brum brum, and I get here, and now I'm here. But right before we hit record, I do always write a question.
Fantastic.
Okay, that's maybe not always in the past, but always now.
Yes, because Matt and I, we're in the dark here. We don't know what you're going to talk about. So it could be anything. What's it going to be?
It's exciting. My question is, the Terry Fox run originated in which country? Yes, it is Canada.
Thank you.
Unfucking believable.
Wait, unbelievable. You asked the question.
Unfucking believable.
What?
Jesus Christ.
What was I meant to do?
You've ruined everything, that's for sure.
Sorry.
You've ruined the flow of the show.
Yeah.
Because it was going to be a reveal at the end that it all happened in Canada. A bit like when you're watching a really good movie and then it turns out it was all a dream.
Why did you ask the question then?
Oh my God, it was all of Canada.
Yeah. I'm kidding. Well done. It was Canada.
Canada.
Well done. But
Sorry, I forgot to tell the new listeners that we're also a comedy podcast, so we have a bit of fun. Okay,
have a bit of fun
we
with
kid.
it.
Yeah.
So that was just a classic kid.
And also, hey, comedy, it's subjective. So you might be saying, when are you going to say something funny?
Correct.
Well, maybe never to you.
To you. But somebody else might be absolutely pissing their pants right now.
Dave. That's why he's got to get another pair on QuickSmart.
He's very
He's
very
up to
clever.
stage yellow.
You're obviously aware of the Terry Fox run.
I'm not, but I don't know why I know that, but I hear Terry Fox and my brain goes Canada.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know. I don't think I know a single thing about it apart from that.
Dave, any recollection of this at all?
Maybe.
Because it has been suggested a lot.
Maybe
I think that's
why.
possibly why I have some vague ideas because it's been suggested a lot.
Honestly, it's quite a list of people that have suggested this topic, and anybody can. It's a free choice for me at the moment, but this is one I've wanted to do for a little while because, it has been suggested a lot. It's been suggested by Jake from Canada, Luke Kruger from Calgary, Canada, Travis Saar from Canada, Scott Coventry from Canada.
Okay.
This is probably why we're starting to think it was a Canadian.
Christine Mulder from Brisbane,
Okay.
Canada.
Mulder.
No, I'm kidding. Matthew Ball from Canada, Justin Graham from Canada, Jamie Allison from Canada. In fact, I'll just read it, and if they're from somewhere else, I'll say Callie Trey,
Canada.
Darcy Williamson, Gracie,
That's Canadian. Yeah.
Michael Lucisano,
Oh, that's so Canadian.
Dan
Mamma mia,
Kyle.
that's Canadian.
Sorry, I misspoke over them.
Dan Kyle.
Thank you, Dan Kyle.
John Wick from Iowa. So that's not Canada.
Okay.
Joel Tremblay, Canada. Shannon Godley, Fraser Green, Jared Brazel, and it's
Jared Brazel.
well, it's
Holy
written like
shit.
Brazil, but Jared says pronounced like Razzle, but with a B in front.
Oh my god, Jared Brazel
Jared
Brazel
Brazel.
is
And it's
so
spelled,
good.
but it's spelled Brazil.
Yeah.
Jared, I'm so
imagine
sorry for
Jared
your whole
Brazil.
life.
Jared Brazil's also fantastic, but
Yeah.
Jared Brazel.
Incredible.
I think that one person has suggested this topic and then come up with all these aliases. There's no way
Surely.
that Jared Brazel exists.
So good.
That's the best.
But I love that little extra detail if it is made up. Not like Brazil.
Yeah.
It's like razzle dazzle. Brazel.
Brazel. Very good stuff. Will Groneveld. It's given it phonetically, which I appreciate. Justin Walsh and Lily Bagg. Baerg. B-A-E-R-G.
That is such a great, like, you go, wow, what a lovely, Lily Bag. Oh,
Brazel. Bag?
Bag.
I've definitely butchered it, and Lily, I apologise, but
Lily, it's
Lily is
Lily-
also from Canada.
Canada. Great. Great.
So really only there was someone from Brisbane and someone from Iowa, but everybody else was from
There's
Canada.
A great, great Canadian crowd work comedian. Surname's Bag. I think Ian Bag.
Ian
mate.
Bag.
Yeah.
The king of
The king of crowd work. Yeah.
Before it was big on TikTok. He'd just come out and do half an hour of
Wow.
Just riffing.
so
Riffing with the
funny
audience.
too.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Ah, the Bag
I
family.
did some gigs in Sydney once, and he was on every night as a headliner. And it was like he had
You were on with Ian Bag?
he had similar
Holy
sort
shit.
of routines to get into the
Yeah.
crowd work, but then it would be different every night based on who was there, and it was just really
Wow.
impressive to
I
watch.
can't
that
believe
format.
you've performed with Ian Bag.
I bagged with the bag.
That made me hate him a little bit. Don't you
Dave.
agree? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we normally don't like say that on the podcast. We keep that for our private
I've
chat.
bagged with the bag?
Yeah, he sucks.
That's awful.
Disgusting. Anyway. So, this is a report about a Canadian legend.
Ian Bag.
Ian Bag. You fucks.
Sorry.
Terry Fox. So Terrence Stanley Fox, great name, born in Winnipeg on July 28th, 1958 to parents Roland and Betty Fox. He was the second of 4 kids, growing up with his older brother Fred and younger siblings Daryl and Judith. Great names.
Yeah, I like him.
In the year after 1965, the family moved to Surrey, British Columbia.
I was like, that's a weird.
I turned my body towards Dave, like, just keep reading
Well,
and
I
maybe
think
they won't
that's what he
notice.
does.
Listeners, you might not know this.
What was this the year before 1967 we're talking about?
1965, the Saints lost the grand final that year, but the following year
He's got one for every year.
I know, it's incredible.
The following year, the Saints won their one and only VFL/AFL premiership.
It's a bit like how he remembers where he was every time he saw a movie. He actually remembers every year he has existed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he has a pretty good memory. Anyway, so they moved to a part of Metro Vancouver. He was a very competitive kid, very sporty kid. He desperately wanted to join his school's basketball team, but unfortunately was a little bit short to make the team.
Oh.
And I think also not particularly good at basketball.
Okay.
Because tell that to Muggsy.
Yeah.
But the height was a factor.
They've definitely softened that with him.
Hey, you just got to wait till you grow a little bit.
There's
and
like a
learn
montage
skill.
of him throwing up bricks. Air ball after air ball. Hey, just a bit
Just
short.
it's the height thing.
Yeah, maybe
It
it
is.
grows, but we'll see.
He's 6'2" at 12 years old, but just a bit short. Anyway, so yes, he's. This is from the Terry Fox Foundation. Terry, however, was terrible at the game, even by the standards of the Mary Hill Cobras. It's like their primary school, basically. Bob McGill, the PE teacher, suggested Terry try out for cross-country running. He might as well have asked Terry to skydive. The boy had no interest in running, but Terry started training anyway because he had so much respect for the coach and wanted to please him.
Oh, I think he said because he had so much time on his hand because basketball people are like, get out of here.
Out. He found the workouts exhausting and was often afraid to start the runs because they were so demanding.
It would be funny to find the workouts anything but exhausting, right? That's otherwise, what's the point of them? Is there any point to do anything if you don't end up exhausted?
Yeah. There's definitely stuff that you
What?
can do that you don't. Does everything exhaust you?
Yeah, not the way we do it.
Pretty much.
Not the way we do. Again, I hate him a little bit.
Okay, well, yeah.
The way Matt and I approach life.
Is exhausting.
It is it's exhausting to watch us as well.
Yeah,
we've been
exhausting to be around, that's for sure.
Certainly exhausting to listen to.
Well, I've bagged with the bag, sir. Pretty good.
He's trying to make it better and it's making it worse.
I'm messaging Alistair Tremblay-Birch right now saying, Dave bagged with the bag, and see if he understands what that means.
So he was determined to stick with basketball, even if he was the 19th player on the team of 19. He worked hard in practice and was rewarded with 1 minute of floor play all season. He ended up making the team, but he was sort of like, he was like you in cricket.
Right, the honorary. But was his 1 minute, like, during halftime, like, to polish the middle?
Yeah. If you could just clean up some sweat, that'd be good. Thanks, Terry.
1 minute of play is so great.
Yeah.
Especially the coach keeps putting it off too, and it's the final minute of the game. Scores are tied. He's like, fuck, I've got to get Terry in there.
But we actually just really need a goal. Or you wait to a game, you're winning by 20 points, and you're like, chuck him in for a minute.
How bad could it be? 30 seconds later, you're losing by 50.
How? How did he do it? So this is again from the Foundation's website. McGill's policy was not to cut anyone from the team, but he let the boys know that only the best 12 players would be allowed floor time. In grade 9, Terry was one of the 12 best. He worked hard.
At basketball?
Yeah.
One of the 12 best. 5 on the court at a time. He was 12.
And do you think they mean one of the 12 tallest? Had he just had a growth spurt?
He had a growth spurt. No, he worked really hard. Like he was really dedicated to it and practiced a lot, where some of the others were sort of like, just maybe a bit more naturally talented, so took their foot off the pedal a little. He was like really working. He was very dedicated to it. And he's young.
Australia is in the group of death in the men's Olympics basketball.
The group of death.
Group of death. That's the one. There's always one group in those tournaments that is like 2 go through, but there's 3 teams that would think they could or should.
Right.
And
are we the 4th team?
Well, yeah, all 4 nations are quite good basketballing nations, world stage style. Canada's one.
Okay.
Australia, Spain, and Greece, which is Giannis's team, obviously. So they've got one particularly good player. But anyway, it would be fun to watch us play Canada.
Yeah.
Although people are upset, we didn't name what's his name, Theobald or whatever in the team. Theobald? I'm a real basketball guy.
Yeah, and you're talking to 2 people, and our eyes are glazing over.
I thought you would be able to take that up and run with it.
No, I'm sorry. I watched it. Like, I'll watch it during the Olympics, but I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody.
Who are you?
What am I doing?
I'm trying to think of who you could mean by Theobald.
No, that's a name I recognise. Or I could be wrong. I don't know anyone.
Was it Theobald or Dante Exum maybe, which is very different. Doesn't matter.
I know that name.
Yeah, Matisse. Yes, it was Matisse. I don't know if Theobald. It's written like Thigh-Boule.
Ooh.
But I think in my head I just always I should have said Matisse. AJ, could you edit that around so I sound really good at basketball knowing? And also edit that sentence around so that the words are in the right place to make sense.
Thanks, AJ.
Or just chop it all out if it's easier.
We're talking about a 12-year-old child, or maybe not even. So Terry, yes, he's worked really hard. He's gone from like not making the team to making the team, but like being the 19th person on the team and getting 1 minute to being like one of the better players.
That's great.
So he's worked his way up. He wanted to be as good as the coach believed he could be. He was such an inspirational person. I wanted to show him that I was a lot better than being laughed at by the other players, Terry recalled. Right, so he's talking about the coach.
The coach that told him, you shouldn't play basketball, you should just run around.
Yeah, I think he's misunderstood.
Was the coach believing in his running abilities or his basketball as well?
Well, McGill, there's a quote from McGill next. McGill chuckled with pride, remembering the way he pushed and encouraged the team and the way Terry in particular responded. If I'd told Terry to hit his head against the wall, he would have, McGill said, because that's how much he believed in what I was trying to do. So McGill he was like, he wasn't good enough at basketball to make the team the first time. So he said like try cross-country running and I think he also said like wrestling or something. So Terry did other sporting stuff and then worked hard and made his way onto the team. So, yeah. By year 10, he was a starting player and earned the respect of his teammates and teachers. So you get the idea. He works hard. He's very determined to excel.
Great. It's impressive.
And he did. He was a very talented athlete, not just in basketball. He shared Athlete of the Year with his friend Doug Allwood in grade 12. Doug had become an accomplished runner and came second in the British Columbia cross-country finals. He always liked to deflect the attention from himself, saying that Terry deserved the award more because Terry was a better basketball player, he was a first-class soccer player, and a gutsy rugby player. So he was just very sporty.
Wow.
After finishing school, he enrolled at Simon Fraser University in Vancouver. He studied kinesiology. While at university, he made it onto the junior varsity basketball team and planned on using his education to become a PE teacher. So he was obviously quite inspired by his school PE teacher. Mike McNeil, the first string guard on the varsity team, said, "In the summer after high school, we knew Terry was coming out for the team. I played against him offensively, and he wasn't that good, but defensively, he was one of the toughest I'd ever played against. He had a lot of pride and he worked hard. His determination and hard work paid off, and he made the team. There were more talented players who didn't make it," McNeil recalled, "but Terry just outgutted them. People tend to look in awe at players who have a lot of natural ability, but respect from other athletes goes to the guy who works really hard," and that was Terry.
Whoa. Did he outgutter them or just gut them?
He outgutted them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was putting up guttering around a house.
Yeah.
He did that better than anyone.
Yeah, and very quick.
Because the coach kept going, basketball not your thing. Try guttering.
And
We
he
haven't
did.
found it yet. We'll find,
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
find what
find
you're
it.
good at. Painting?
Accounting?
Yeah.
Even with numbers?
6 times 5? Don't know it? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. We can do this. We'll figure this out.
I keep thinking back to the name that you called this, the Fox race?
Cherry Fox Run.
Run.
Babe, I'm 2 paragraphs in. I'm setting the scene a little.
No, I'm just curious how we're going from,
I know, it's exciting, babe.
babe,
I'm trying out a new thing. Do you like it?
Yeah.
babe, I'm excited.
He's a little too excited over there.
Yeah, I won't call him babe anymore.
Yeah.
Like the pig? That's sick.
Oh, my God.
That's actually awesome.
I want to be a little pig. That'd be sick.
I want to be a little smart pig.
I want to be a little talking pig. That'd be so sick.
Matt's really into being a talking pig. Anyway, so.
I want to be a little talking pig, babe.
Okay, babe.
That'll do.
I'm just setting the scene of like the type of person, very driven, very determined, hardworking.
Yeah, a lot of guts, a lot of tenacity.
Guts. That's right.
Love this guy.
So, November 12, 1976, Terry's driving home to like the family home. And as he's driving, he gets distracted by there's some like bridge construction happening and he kind of is having a look at that.
He's like, oh, I could do better guttering than that. It's terrible.
And because he was distracted, he crashed into the back of a pickup truck.
Oh.
Luckily, no one was seriously injured, but he did injure his right knee. And after several weeks, he was still feeling quite a bit of pain, but he decided to play through the pain until the end of the basketball season. But by March the following year, so 4 months after the car accident, the pain in his knee was still there. And if anything, it was kind of intensifying. So he finally went and got it checked out. He went to the hospital and doctors ran tests to see what was causing the continued pain in Terry's knee.
So when did the doctor said, do you know what's causing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Finally get an answer.
And the test revealed that Terry had osteosarcoma, so an aggressive bone cancer.
And wait, caused by the accident or the accident unveiled it?
Terry kind of blamed the accident, but doctors were like, that is not how it works.
Yeah.
So
I'm so confused by cancer because someone said to me like when I was a kid that you can get cancer from like being hit in certain ways and stuff. I'm like, that can't be right, can it? But then I heard recently that can, you know, weird things can
interesting,
like spark a cancer.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I looked into this one and this is just from Wikipedia, which is a fascinating
medical journal.
Thank
Peer
you.
review.
Peer review.
Well, people review some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Our
says
peers. People.
Many patients first complain of pain that may be worse at night, may be intermittent, or of a varying intensity and may have been occurring for a long time. Teenagers who are active in sports often complain of pain in the lower femur or immediately below the knee. If the tumour is large, it can present as overt localised swelling. Sometimes a sudden fracture is the first symptom because the affected bone is not as strong as normal bone and may fracture abnormally with minor trauma.
Right, so maybe the car accident, someone with a healthy leg.
Yeah.
wouldn't have had
Exactly right.
the trauma.
Yeah.
I just Googled, can an impact injury cause cancer? And the first thing that comes up is the Canadian Cancer Society, which says injuries cannot cause cancer, but an injury may lead to finding cancer in the injured area.
And so, exactly right. The
For
bone,
example, a bone that is weak from a cancerous tumour is more likely to break, and treating the broken bone could lead to the discovery of cancer.
exactly right.
Do you reckon if there's another paragraph, we're just like our hero, Terry Fox?
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of how his cancer was discovered.
And whatever I just said before is absolute nonsense.
And see, that's why it's important to peer review.
Yes. But
Matt says something unhinged and Dave and I go, oh, and that's
why
peer review.
it was clever for me to Google it now.
Yeah.
Because people would have been absolutely furious about it.
So backspace on those tweets,
That's
okay?
right, 'cause 50% of our listeners are doctors, is that right?
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So here's 18-year-old Terry finding out the pain in his knee is actually bone cancer.
Oh, God, that's so awful.
And the doctors are telling him that his right leg needs to be amputated and he'll have to undergo chemotherapy. He's 18. He's a star athlete.
That at least sounds like sport. If he's playing all those sports, it sounds like it's his life.
Yeah, it's a big part of him. And he's like, he's studying kinesiology, so it's like the movement, and he wants to be a PE teacher, which you can absolutely do as an amputee. But I'm just saying, like, obviously, sport and everything is very important to him. So doctors also told him that recent medical advances meant he had a 50% chance of survival, which doesn't sound that good, but only 2 years earlier, his chance of survival would have been more like 15%.
Wow.
That's quite an advancement.
Huge
Wow.
advancement in 2 years.
So timing was something like...
Yeah. So the night before his amputation, Terry read an article about Dick Tram.
Okay, now I've got a picture in my mind, but let's see where this goes.
Traum, maybe it's Traum because it's essentially trauma without the A at the end.
Oh, my God, Dick Trauma.
Dick Traum.
That's awful. No one wants any of that.
Dick Traum was the first amputee to complete the New York City Marathon, and the article inspired him. It sort of gave him hope for life after the surgery, that he would still be able to be active. So the next day, his right leg was amputated about 15 centimetres or 6 inches above the knee, and Terry's determination and drive was admired by hospital staff who watched him persevere and commented on his positive attitude. So much so that within 3 weeks, he was walking with a prosthetic leg.
He sounds like the perfect person to deal with any adversity.
Yeah.
Like he's never, I mean, from what I've learned, it's like he just never seems to get down or hardly does. And I get knocked back from the basketball team, good. I say, I'll never touch a basketball
I
again.
will never touch a basketball. I'm stabbing basketballs left, right, and centre.
No worries.
Yeah.
I'll never.
If I'm not immediately good at something, I'm never doing it again.
If I'm having my leg amputated above the knee or anywhere, I'm feeling sorry for myself for a bit.
Yep.
And
Especially for the first 3 weeks, I'd be feeling sorry for myself.
And you're 18. Like, I remember being 18 and feeling bulletproof. Like, you can't fathom a world where something isn't perfect or working right in your body.
And bullets did used to bounce off you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Until I was 19, and then they just started penetrating.
You were penetrated by so many bullets after that.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
But your body then pushed them out and healed quickly.
Yeah.
But
Which
still,
I assume everyone
yeah,
does.
but still, it's annoying that they penetrated at all.
The Bullets are a local basketball team.
That was a big hit behind the shelter shed.
Behind the shelter shed. Anyway, so...
Jess, you took that to an interesting place.
Okay, babe. So, 3 weeks he's walking with a prosthetic leg, which, can take a lot of time to get used to and build up the muscles. But the amputation was just part one of his cancer battle, and he had to undergo 16 months of chemotherapy.
Wow.
While receiving his treatment, Terry spent time, obviously, with other cancer patients and watched as some of them suffered through really uncomfortable treatments and obviously die from their illness. So this first-hand experience, along with the fact that the chance of his own survival had increased from 15% to 50% in a 2-year span, it sort of proved to him how important cancer research and funding was. And secretly, he began to devise a plan for ways he could raise money. But to his family, he just seemed to be Terry finding a way to continue his love of sport. But he's sort of, in his mind, he's devising something.
That's such a funny thing. That's such a funny thing to be like, my little secret shame. I hope no one finds out. I'm thinking about ways. I'm scheming. I'm scheming about ways to raise money for cancer research. Please, I hope no one finds out.
Don't tell anyone.
Please.
The scheming, does that mean he's going to rubber bank or to drug lab or something.
Oh, the run is the getaway.
This story
The
could
Terry
go
Fox run.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Fox on the run.
I'm telling you, my
That's
reports
what
are
that
very
song's about.
exciting.
I agree. Can't wait for the big twist.
Thanks, babe.
Oh my gosh.
In the summer of 77, a man named Rick Hansen, who was working with the Canadian Wheelchair Sports Association, invited Terry to try out for his wheelchair basketball team. He
Whoa.
played a lot of basketball.
77 is the year that Collingwood drew with North Melbourne in the grand final.
Fucking believable. So less than 2 months after learning how to play wheelchair basketball, Terry was named a member of the team for the national championship in Edmonton.
What?
He won 3 national titles with the team and was named an all-star by the North American Wheelchair Basketball Association in 1980.
What?
That's actually amazing.
So he's gone from you're not good enough to make the team to playing through high school, playing in college, very quickly picking up wheelchair basketball and then being named
Which is
winning a national championship 3 times.
Entirely different skill.
Very different, yes.
So when we said you're not good enough to make the team, we mean you're good enough to make any team.
You know what I mean? Not good enough. You're too good.
You're too good. You're very, very good.
You made everyone else look really bad at it. Some of them,
Holy shit.
Some of them have been playing wheelchair basketball for a decade.
Yeah.
And you're better than them after day one.
We've had to kick them off the team. We've said never come back. They're stabbing basketballs out there right now.
The morale is awful.
Terry, you're too good.
Canada's just going to be a 1-on-5 team from now on.
Terry's just boop, 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 boop. So he's playing basketball, but aside from that as well, he's also running a lot. He told his family he wanted to run a marathon, just like Dick Traum. But in private, he devised a more extensive plan. His hospital experience had made Terry angry at how little money was dedicated to cancer research. So he intended to run the length of Canada
Oh, that's a big one.
in the hope of increasing cancer awareness.
Yeah, do you reckon if you're from like a really small country, you're like from Singapore, you're like, this is so much easier. But then you're like, Canada, fuck. That's
It's quite big.
It's a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a big country.
Imagine he's going east to west. Imagine running up through the north like he's finishing
Yeah, that's true.
chasing polar bears.
So he started training. So he couldn't run with a normal gait because he had like springs in his artificial leg that required more time to reset between each step. So he sort of had to do like a little hop step kind of skip when he ran. So it's just to give the springs time to reset. Not surprisingly, training was very painful. The additional pressure he had to place on both his good leg and his stump of the amputation led to bone bruises, blisters, and intense pain. But where most people would stop, Terry found that after about 20 minutes of each run, he crossed a pain threshold and the run became easier.
He's like, it hurt so much, it didn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like his body releases some sort of
Yeah.
natural
Or
painkillers,
is
I
it
guess. or
after
something?
20 minutes, he passed out, and every day his support team would go and pick him up, drive him home, and the next day do another 20 minutes before he passed out from pain.
Isn't that incredible? But like I have like when training up to do longer distance runs, and I'm not a long distance runner, so it takes me ages to train to do like 5Ks. But
Like you wouldn't run across Canada, but luckily you could run across Australia.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously just as a warm up.
Would you go east to west, north to south?
It'd be nice to end up in Cairns.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. I don't want to run through the desert.
Good point.
Camels.
Yeah.
No thanks.
So you're going to run right along the coast. Really
yeah,
take it in.
just
yeah.
beach.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
do beach the whole way.
Just sand the whole way?
That'd be nice, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, like I have experienced it where you're uncomfortable and then you do hit a bit of a threshold in it and your feet are just moving and you're not really thinking as much about it. But that's not with incredible pain. He's just persevering through it.
Sometimes I've had pimples that are too painful to pop. I've gone, I want to, I should, but that hurts.
That
too
hurts,
much.
yeah,
That
yeah.
just hurts.
The ones where your eyes just start
Yeah.
watering immediately.
But like, what are the,
Yeah.
what are the,
So you and Terry, very similar people.
I just am astounded by people that even someone, there's people that run from one side of the country to the other and they do a marathon every day for 100 days or whatever. And they're doing it without this pain.
Doing a single marathon is mind-boggling.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
Do one day after day after day is...
Like, if you'd told
Someone
me
else.
that's physically impossible, I would have said, yeah, I know it is.
Of course it
And
is.
I'm like, oh, no, people do that kind of thing. How?
How? It doesn't make sense.
How?
Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah.
What kind of aliens are they?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's figure this out.
Are they,
It's wild.
Are they a cyborg?
So he's running long distances
Just
With a prosthetic with
bone
extreme
bruises,
pain.
blisters. Yep.
Like-
bone bruises.
Sometimes
Bruising a bone really hurts.
I didn't know you could do that.
It's crazy.
I do also sometimes think, you don't have to do this, man.
Yeah, you don't have to do it.
Come on. Your body's telling you.
I think that's my problem is I listen to my body. It says don't do it, and I say, yeah.
Fair enough. Let's go to the couch.
Yeah.
And that's why you've never inspired anyone.
You've never inspired anyone.
I have a funny feeling that Terry's about to inspire.
I think Matt might be right. So in September of 79, Terry completed a 17-mile or 27-kilometre road race, finishing in last place, but to tears and applause. Like the other competitors, his family and friends and stuff, people are losing it.
Yeah, they were really sad that he lost.
We've stood at this finish line for ages.
And to be fair, he was only like 10 minutes behind the last
oh, really?
one. So it's not
great.
bad.
It's not like they waited for like 5 hours in the dark.
Because he can't run with like the same speed as other people can because he has to sort of let the leg reset. So
But
he's kind of like hopping along.
I'll say the tears were genuine, but the applause was
Patronising.
sarcastic. It was
Wow.
finally. Okay.
They're crying from boredom.
Yeah.
We've been waiting here for ages. Anyway, so it was
How long of a race was it?
17 miles or 27 Ks.
Yeah,
that's a
okay.
proper
So longer
race.
than I've ever run.
Of course, yes.
But I mean, I don't know why that's relevant. I
Yeah.
just in my own head, I'm like, okay, so
I can't fathom it,
An early run for him is just a run that I've got. I think I've done like, I've got close. I've done like 18,
Oof.
Okay.
and that was like was delirious by the end of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, 18 Ks. Well, that's right. Is this
27 Ks.
27 Ks? Fuck, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's a small run.
I'll never do that.
So he did another half of what you were.
Yeah.
And you were already delirious.
Yeah, I was like full delirious. I remember running, it was a bit of a downhill thing. And I'm like, okay, this is like, I'm falling more than running at this point.
You were rolling.
That's my dog going downstairs.
Yeah.
He's
barrel.
strategically falling,
Oh.
which is actually very impressive. But his legs are too short
have
for
to-
the stairs.
you
He's
just-
falling.
Just have to stick the landing and you're right.
Yeah, he falls with grace. So it was after this race that the now 21-year-old finally divulged his plan to his family, that he was going to run from the east coast of Canada all the way to the west coast. His mother, Betty, was upset by the idea, and she tried to sort of talk some sense into her son. His father, knowing the determination and drive of his son, simply replied with, "When?" I was like, okay, when?
Yeah.
Mate, I got to
Let me
check
know.
my schedule.
Yeah. Betty came around pretty quickly and later recalled, he said, "I thought you'd be one of the first persons to believe in me." And I wasn't. I was the first person who let him down.
Oh, Betty
Betty.
came around.
Betty said that.
Oh,
Bum,
no.
bum,
She
bum,
came
bum,
around
bum,
quick, but
bum.
you can completely she was from then on she was very supportive, but I think it's totally reasonable for a parent to be fearful of their kid taking on such a mammoth effort when he, like he's only
I think
21
it's right that
and
she feels bad many years later, I assume.
yeah, she's still like,
Because he never let her forget it. You let me down, Mum. You're dead to me. Anyway, Dad, here we go.
here we go, let's do it. So family and friends were on board with the plan. Terry wrote a letter.
Except for Betty.
No, she was on board
No,
now.
Betty came around. Dun, dun, dun,
What are you referencing there?
When I come around by Green Day. But I do it.
When I come
don't, But I also
around.
don't know how to change the tone or do melodies and stuff. so I
Betty,
just go,
come
dun,
around. Is that what you're trying to do?
dun, 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 dun. Betty came around.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I don't
thought
know
you were
that
doing the
bit.
Doors. Dun, 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 dun.
We
Come
did
on,
it.
Betty, touch me, Betty.
Okay, that's a very different song. Come on, Betty, touch me, Betty.
Most parody artists won't get the Betty in there twice, but I did it.
You are freakishly good. That's why.
But also, not many parody artists will do a parody and people will be like, "What's that song?"
What's
but
that-
I can.
What's that song?
I can
And
make
who
it
is
un-
Betty?
Who is Betty? What are you
Whereas
doing?
Everyone's like, "Great original." Like, no.
Oh.
I need to give credit. Billy Joe wrote this one.
Love you, Billy Joe. So, family and friends, including Betty, are now all on board. And he wrote a letter to the Canadian Cancer Society requesting their support. I've got some of the letter here. This is what he wrote. The night before, there's a bit of a chunk here, but I really like his writing. The night before my amputation, my former basketball coach brought me a magazine with an article on an amputee who ran in the New York Marathon. It was then I decided to meet this new challenge head on and not only overcome my disability, but conquer it in such a way that I could never look back and say it disabled me. But I soon realised that would only be half my quest, for as I went through the 16 months of physically and emotionally draining ordeal of chemotherapy, I was rudely awakened by the feelings that surrounded and coursed through the cancer clinic. There were faces with the brave smiles, the ones who had given up smiling. There were feelings of hopeful denial and feelings of despair. My quest would not be a selfish one. I could not leave knowing these faces and feelings would still exist, even though I would be set free from mine. Somewhere the hurting must stop, and I was determined to take myself to the limit for this cause. From the beginning, the going was extremely difficult, and I was facing chronic ailment foreign to runners with 2 legs, in addition to the common physical strains felt by all dedicated athletes. But these problems are now behind me, as I have either out-persisted or learned to deal with them. I feel strong not only physically, but more importantly, emotionally. Soon I will be adding 1 full mile a week, and coupled with weight training I've been doing, by next April I'll be ready to achieve something that for me was once only a distant dream reserved for the worlds of miracles, to run across Canada to raise money for the fight against cancer. The running I can do, even if I have to crawl every mile. We need your help. The people in cancer clinics all over the world need people who believe in miracles. I'm not a dreamer, and I'm not saying this will initiate any kind of definitive answer or cure to cancer, but I believe in miracles. I have to.
Whoa.
How good is that? That's the letter he wrote to them.
Gosh, I hope they get on board, because that's a really great letter.
They were a little skeptical at first. They were sort of like, I don't know if he can do it. But they did agree to support him on the condition that he, like they said, if you get sponsors, we'll support you, and also requested that he get a medical certificate just saying he was fit to run. They just wanted him to, I mean, you know, like, I think his cancer's basically in remission, but they're still dealing with this young person who only a couple of years ago was diagnosed with bone cancer. So they're like, let's make sure you're okay to do this. So during this checkup, they found that he had left ventricular hypertrophy. It's an enlarged heart. It's apparently quite common in athletes. So he's diagnosed with something else in this checkup.
And I guess that's because the body's like, it needs to get
Kind
bigger
of,
to deal with it. And
Yep.
that seems bad. I would have thought that makes you like a superhero.
It comes with some risks, or
Right.
it can lead to other things, but it wasn't a huge deal. The doctors didn't think it'd be a concern. They endorsed his run, but just said, like, be conscious of it. Seek medical attention if you're having heart issues or anything. But
Right.
they were like, you're fine to do it, but just be aware of it. So it's just interesting that they're like, do a checkup. There's, something else. So it's, yeah. But anyway, it's not a big deal. They're happy for him to do the run.
Nothing's a big deal to this guy.
No, he's like, cool, whatever.
He's like, yeah, next.
Yep.
What else you got?
No problem.
Fine, just take my heart out. I don't need it. I don't need it.
Fine. Can I run now? Incredible. So along with this letter to the Cancer Society, a second letter was sent to several corporations seeking donations for a vehicle and running shoes and to cover the costs of, other stuff. So he sent letters asking for grants to buy another prosthetic, like a running leg. The Ford Motor Company donated a camper van, while Imperial Oil contributed fuel, and Adidas gave him his running shoes.
I mean, honestly, a camper van, that's going to make it a lot easier.
Sorry, Adidas.
He can just drive it. That's great.
Yeah.
That will.
Sounds
That's
like
super helpful.
Sounds like
Wow.
a really cool road trip.
I was like, thanks for the runners, Adidas.
Yeah.
But
I've got a camper van.
I got a camper
Actually,
van now.
do you have any driving shoes?
I like the idea that Dave's in the next next doctor's office. He's getting your heart. You've got hypertrophy of the heart. And he's like, no worries. In the next office, the doctor's going to Dave, I'm so sorry. We've found a second pimple. And Dave's like, I can't go on.
I can't take this.
go on.
I cannot take
Call
this.
my wife.
Oh my god.
Call my wife.
If you're going to remove it, you'll have to put me in a coma.
I need a general.
It's not even put me under. I'm going to have to be in a
I'll have a few
coma.
weeks, otherwise the screaming won't stop.
You'll have to put me down.
The pimple is spread.
Oh my god.
There's a secondary pimple.
You didn't quite get it. Now it's got a double head.
Oh, no.
It's got to have twice the squeezing. Please,
Put me in a coma.
please no.
And he walks past. He's leaving after finding out about a new thing he's got to get through. He walks past and he hears your sobbing. He says, I'm doing this for him.
I'm doing it for that boy.
For that little boy in
I'm
there.
34 years old, Terry.
Terry.
And I'm frightened. Terry, do it for me. So, yeah. Okay.
You're right, Terry. You wouldn't know what I'm going through.
Exactly, Terry. Some of us have adversity to overcome. A second pimple.
I thought it was kind of cool that he got these things donated to
That
him.
is
No,
actually-
it is very cool.
And that is great.
And I love any chance to say Adidas.
Adidas.
Ford,
But he also
Adidas and the motor oil company come on board. That's what you need.
he also turned away any company that requested he endorse their products.
Right.
And he refused any donations that carried conditions because he insisted that nobody was to profit from his run.
Right.
Which I kind of respect
He
as
puts
well.
his shoes on and goes, these Adidas suck. They suck. My feet are bleeding. It's because of the Adidas.
I mean, it would still be good marketing for them because
Yeah, it's so funny that some didn't see that and they're like,
Yeah.
no, we need a photo with you going, these are real good
Yeah,
in
you-
the photo.
This
somehow.
This
has
is
to
my
be in a
favorite
magazine.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
So his initial goal was to raise $1 million. This is in 1980. Then he changed to a goal of $10 million.
What?
Before finally he decided he wanted to raise $1 for every.
Okay, that's gone way back. Like, he's bouncing all over the place. I thought $1 million was good. 10 million, maybe a bit ambitious. But $1, Terry?
Terry, I'll give you
Terry,
$1.
come on.
Terry, I'll give you $1.
You could sell a camper van for at least a few dollars, Terry.
Jess is shaking her head. She is not pleased with this interruption. I mean, Jess, it's not our fault that Terry's being ridiculous.
Yes,
He
I
only
mean...
$1 million, $10 million, $1. Does Terry know the value of $1?
Sometimes when I'm writing the reports and I'm like, this will be a really impactful statement. Every time we get to those,
Have you underlined it in red? Read
Red
with
for
heart.
emotion.
read with heart.
Read with an enlarged heart.
So, okay, he decided he wanted to raise $1 for each of Canada's citizens, which was $24 million.
Whoa.
Wow.
So $24 million.
Yeah, okay, now we're talking. She's bouncing around $1, now up to 24 million.
Terry, this scale is crazy.
Come on, Terry.
I hate these
Thank
boys.
God he doesn't live in America because there's a lot more people there.
Yeah. So that's the goal. 24 million.
That's ambitious.
It's pretty ambitious.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Is it because he hit $1 million pretty quickly and was like, oh,
No,
okay.
he hasn't started yet.
Before,
this is just a goal.
Before $1, he went from 1 to 10 to 24 million.
Yep.
That is incredible.
He just thought, well, like, you know,
Stretch goal.
imagine if everybody in Canada gave $1, you'd have $24 million. That's, you know.
Yeah, okay.
So that's his goal.
And he's including babies in this?
Yeah. I suppose, like,
Terry.
He's robbing babies.
I think, like, okay, if you're a family of 6, you're giving $6. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, okay. Orphan babies, Jess.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
like, I'm talking
Terry,
to
you
you. I'm
have
talking
to
to you,
go-
Jess, but I'm really talking to Terry here. Let's...
Surely it
Let's be
averages out,
reasonable.
you know, like, sure, orphan babies can't give $1, but, like, maybe Richie McRich could give, like, 10.
Oh, I didn't realise Richie McRich was
Canadian.
Canadian. Yeah, okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah, if he gives 10, and that'll cover
If
the
he-
9 orphan babies in
Yeah.
Canada.
I've got an idea. What if Richie McRich gives 24 million?
Oh.
Covering all the orphans and everyone else.
Yes.
Okay, that's not bad.
Hey, what about this? Richie McRich pays tax.
Okay.
All right.
And then we don't have to privately fund cancer research.
Okay.
All right. That'll do, pig. Okay? You're talking crazy now, okay?
Sorry, I just got a coffee order from our Trotskyist barista, and I think a bit of it seeps through. I've become a commie.
Bit of taste of Leon in every drip.
Okay. He set his goal. True to his word to the Cancer Society, in April of 1980, Terry Fox was ready to start running.
Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs, tycoons, and business magnates to stand out and succeed online. Okay, I added that bit in. Whether it's your first ever website or your business is expanding, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website and engage with your fantastic audience.
Which bit did you add in?
Tycoons and magnates. 'cause I
Oh,
thought
that felt natural.
Yeah,
you.
it
That
felt
felt
right.
right.
Two of my favourite words.
I recently redid my website with Squarespace, and can I just say it was very, very easy to do. Very user-friendly. I loved it. And you can actually get help writing the content for your website as well if you're like not sure how to really sell your brand. You can use Squarespace AI. You can generate instant personalized results that highlight your brand identity. You can explain what your site's about, what you're selling, what you want people to get from your website, and it can create short and long form text for you.
That's amazing
So
technology.
cool.
Jess, could you just quickly, I know you're basically human AI.
Yes.
What's my brand identity?
Red, idiot, sleepy, beer.
No, I didn't ask for the seven dwarfs, Jess.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like the AI knows him perfectly.
Squarespace also has the tools you need to create and sell your own online course and customize everything with next generation editing technology. We're not using the last generation or even the one before. We're using the next one, not even the current one.
Next one. We're ahead of the game.
You can create engaging lessons your audience will love. Then set the price. You can charge a one-time fee or sell subscriptions. Take what you know and turn it into income, not outcome. What? With Squarespace courses. I added that bit in.
It wasn't clear which bit.
And speaking of setting the price as well, you can also make checkout seamless for your customers with multiple payment options. You can accept credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, and in eligible countries, you can offer customers the option to buy now and pay later with Afterpay and ClearPay.
Wow, and if this sounds as good to you as it sounds to me, you can head to squarespace.com/dogoon for a free trial and to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. One more time, go to squarespace.com/dogoon.
Running. So, on the 12th of April, 1980, Terry Fox dipped his right foot in the Atlantic Ocean near St. John's in...
Oh, no.
Oh, no. What?
He's running the wrong way. He's going into the ocean. Terry,
His first step. Oh my God, no, Terry.
Terry, no, turn around.
Lucky he did it right at St. John's, where the ambulances are from. So
St.
they'll be able
John's, Newfoundland and
Terry.
Labrador. He's on the west coast. That's where he's... No, he's on the east coast.
And he's running
But his
No.
first step should be onto land.
Yeah, Terry,
Let
run
me
west.
finish.
Run west, Terry.
Terry! His whole support team. The camp van's driving it after him. Terry, no!
He's running into the...
No!
Put it in reverse, Terry.
No, Terry, no! Oh, this has got off to a bad start. This is the end of the report. Terry drowned.
He was a great runner, not a good swimmer.
One of the
Unbelievable.
one of the sketches on Australia Get It Up Here, which I think was a great concept that was maybe not that well done, but me and Andy were doing bad American accents. At the very last second, Alistair goes, "You should do American accents." I'm like, "I'm not doing an American accent," and he really pressured me into doing it, and it's bad. Didn't practice at all. It's awful. But anyway, the sketch was that we were training for the Sydney to Hobart foot race. And it starts, I'm Andy's trainer, I'm revving him up. And he takes his first steps out. We pan across the mountain, like I really believe him, whatever. Just pan out, and Andy's floating in the water in Sydney. It's like, it's a very funny idea.
It's pretty funny.
But get rid of the awful American
Yeah.
accents.
You can be Australian.
Didn't
right?
help.
Yeah.
I think Al just liked trolling in person, like, this is going to make it worse, Al. Nah, it'll be interesting. There's another one where he made me do like a thick, like Australian, Italian-y kind of accent. Oh, no. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And he's like, yeah, of course, Swiss Italian, it's fine.
I don't think it is fine. I don't think it's fine. And I'm
You
going to
canceling
find
me
that.
now?
I'm going to find that.
10 years later, I get cancelled.
Anyway,
So he took a step into the ocean?
I got one. I didn't even get one sentence into the start
That
of
is
the
very
race.
funny, though.
I thought this would be
That
exciting.
is very funny, Dave.
Yeah, it was very good.
Mate, he gets in the water and drowns, and Adidas is like, we just gave him 100 pairs of shoes.
We should have given him togs.
That's a swimming costume for
Oh,
our...
is that not an international?
Togs.
Togs, is
You think
it?
everyone calls them togs?
Guess not. I
Not
don't know.
everyone calls them togs.
I don't
Some
think
call
so.
them swimmers.
When we did a Patreon episode earlier today, and you were saying how much you love the Australian term "cracking the shits," I'm like, is that an Australian term?
Surely. I don't
But
think...
yeah, it probably is.
Surely.
What would the
And
origin
like,
of that
it's
even
often
be?
kids and teenagers crack the shits.
Yeah, they're the ones who crack
And
the
cracking the
shits.
shits is actually like it's an adult tantrum basically. Like if an adult cracks the shits,
Yeah.
you're kind of laughing at them.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love crack the shits.
Normally, the person who cracks the shits later goes, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, guys, sorry.
That was not
Sorry.
a good moment of mine.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing that I cracked the shits.
They
I
meant to crack
apologize.
the shits back
Sorry.
there.
Oh, it's so good. Anyway, so it's ceremonial.
A bit
The dipping of the
symbolism,
it's symbolic. He also filled 2 large bottles with ocean water.
Oh, Terry. Oh,
Terry.
You're not going to make it to midday.
Mate, that's full of
Oh,
salt.
that's terrible for hydration. Sorry.
You guys are killing me.
2 bottles of seawater. Yeah, okay, yep.
No, to keep as a souvenir, and also he wanted to pour it into the Pacific Ocean once he made it to British Columbia. Which I always find funny because I imagine the waters would be like,
What the hell?
what is that?
It's a bit of eco-tourism. Terrorism, not tourism.
Ecotourism.
He's like, there's little like life forms in that water, and they end up spreading, and just like it has this huge flow-on effects. It's actually why the ice caps are melting.
Yeah.
because of Terry
Terry.
Fox.
All the water in Vancouver is actually purple because of Terry Fox. So that's sort of part of it. His childhood friend Doug Allwood, who they
Oh, yeah, they're co-MVP.
that's right. He accompanied him on the journey. He was driving the van behind Terry.
Speed it up.
Go. And so this run that he's doing for cancer research he called it the Marathon of Hope.
Love it.
'Cause a lot of people know it. He took off running 26 miles or 42 kilometres that first day, the equivalent of a marathon, and he would continue to run that distance every day.
How do people do it? How does Terry do it?
I love that. That first day, the equivalent of a marathon, day 1.
He does
what
it
I
every
would do
day.
is I'd run across Canada, but I'd take 3 decades.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd
I
run
would
from
do
here
it.
to,
To the shops.
To the shops.
I would do it like on a treadmill over the course of my lifetime. You know?
I don't know if I would.
No, God, no.
Because do you know how far it is in distance? Is it?
Yes.
Or if you don't know how far it is in distance, you know how far it is in another measurement?
Well,
Rather than days of how, you probably know how many days it takes him if he makes it. But like, I know Canada is so big, but I couldn't give you a number if it's like, what is it, 10,000
I'd
Canadians?
say
20,000? I don't know.
a million.
Well, okay, so here's the thing as well. This is where it maybe gets a little tricky, is that he detours a little bit along the journey. Like a town he's approaching will be like, come and we'll throw something for you. So
great.
he might go out of the way. So it's not perfectly
Not a straight line,
But
yeah.
if I give you the idea, so he starts in St. John, which so St. John, and then I'll go directions, and then and he ends up in Vancouver. Yes, okay. And then if I just go walking distance,
Vancouver's right on the east coast. That's cool.
West
West
West Coast. So it would be about. It includes a ferry. And
no,
this
Terry.
particular route also includes it crosses through the United States. But walking, it's like 6,800 kilometers.
Okay, unbelievable.
So it's a long it's
800.
it's a long journey, which isn't a surprise. But he's running a marathon every day.
That's unbelievable,
It's
Terry.
insane. So in the first few days, he was met with less than ideal conditions. There was heavy rain, strong winds. Apparently, one of the days there was a snowstorm. His spirits were lifted, though, when he arrived in Channel Portobasque in the southwest tip of Newfoundland, where the town's 10,000 residents presented him with a donation of over $10,000.
Wow, so they did it. That's more than one each.
Pretty
they
good.
covered their orphan babies.
The orphanage was going, thank God.
Thank God, that would have been embarrassing.
And it's sort of like, especially early on, it's just him on the road and Doug's driving along behind him. Like there isn't a whole heap of buzz, but it builds over time.
Does Doug have a trailer full of cash on the back? Like, how are they taking
Yeah,
the
I
donation?
don't know, because apparently sometimes he'd be running along and people would just be handing him cash.
That's
so I
lovely.
don't know.
That's lovely, but that's really annoying for me. Thank you.
Yeah,
Just
now
put
I've
it in
got
the
to
G-string, please.
now I've got to store this cash. It'd be easier in today's day and age because you could just you could wear like a QR code or a Venmo thing,
Yeah,
and then they
that's
could just
good.
transfer. That'd be easier. But anyway, it was the 80s. So he made it to.
I should tell you guys about the 80s at some point. Fantastic decade.
I'd love to know about the
Yeah.
80s. You should do a report on the 80s.
Yeah, I will. Which ones are we talking about? I love the 1780s. They were fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
Which ones are these, though?
This is the 1980s.
19,
Sorry, I
19
should have
recent history. Yeah, 1980s are great.
Probably feels like yesterday.
It does
for
feel
you,
like yesterday
yeah.
to me. But I should say, if you remember the 1980s, you probably weren't there, were you?
I don't get it.
Okay.
I wasn't there.
Yeah. Maybe you were then.
Oh.
because you don't remember.
Yeah.
it.
But I was born in 1990.
Uh-huh.
Like a good 8 months
Technically, that's the end of the 80s.
in. Okay.
Is that true, Dave?
Is that true, Dave?
I'm not sure that's true.
Or is it the start of the 90s? Which is it, Dave?
Dave?
Dave? Babe.
Dave,
I know
you're not saying anything.
I know I don't often stick to these, but I will shut up for a bit. I feel like I've been a nightmare today, and I apologise to the listeners.
Babe, can I be real? You're always a nightmare.
Thank you.
But we love it. We're those like sickos who love horror movies and nightmares. So bring on your biggest freak, babe, because we love it.
You know
Right,
what I mean?
Dave?
You know what I mean? I love feeling uncomfortable. I love squeezing pimples and feeling the pain. You're that to me in human form.
A human pimple.
So that was a confusing way I did that just then, I guess, because I was like, yeah, first few days it was kind of stormy, but then he made it to this town and they got $10,000. That was the 6th of May. By that time, he had run 882 kilometres.
Which is still
And he was
amazingly-
still in Newfoundland.
That's just the starts, though.
Yes,
Isn't it?
he has made it from like St. John down to the southwest tip so that now he can catch a ferry across to Nova Scotia. So he's still in the same state.
Yeah.
He's run 882 kilometres. I try to do miles and kilometres. If I don't, Google. So yeah, from there they had to catch a ferry across to Nova Scotia. Throughout the trip, Terry frequently expressed his anger and frustration to those he saw as impeding the run, and he fought pretty regularly with his friend Doug.
Oh, okay.
When they reached Nova Scotia, their relationship was a bit tense, and it was arranged for Terry's brother Daryl, who was then 17, to join them and kind of help ease tensions, be a third person. But I get it, because I think Doug is probably concerned for his friend who's doing something pretty huge, but Terry is so focused and determined that he sort of gets annoyed if people are fussing over him or telling him to
Hey, man, probably-
do you want to have a rest day or something?
Yeah,
He's like, fuck off, I'm running.
It's snowing. Maybe we should take today off.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's got the vibe of a guy who doesn't need to be like mothered or fathered or whatever.
Yeah. And
You don't hear fathered as much.
You don't. Isn't that interesting?
No one needs that.
What is
Stop
it?
fathering me.
What is it to father someone? You know,
I think it's to go.
want
to play catch?
Yeah, throw a baseball
You
with
need to
him.
learn how to shave.
Yeah, teach
Wanna
him
get
to
me-
drive manual.
Want to get me a beer?
Grab me a beer, son.
Yelling at
Stop
football,
fathering
Stop
me."
fathering me.
Just get me a beer.
So, yeah, Terry later reflected, people thought I was going through hell. Maybe I was partly, but still I was doing what I wanted and a dream was coming true, and that, above everything else, made it all worthwhile to me. Even though it was so difficult, there was not another thing in the world I would have rather been doing. I got satisfaction out of doing things that were difficult. It was an incredible feeling. The pain was there, but the pain didn't matter. But that's all a lot of people could see. They couldn't see the good that I was getting out of it myself. So
Okay.
Doug's kind of like, dude, do you want to like take a rest or should you chill out? And Terry's like, I'm fucking loving this. Like, it hurts and it's really hard, but I'm having a great time.
That's like when my dad orders an extra hot curry when we're out, and like I'm like, Dad, are you
Dad.
okay? 'Cause he's crying, snot's coming out of his nose, and he's like,
I'm loving it.
"This is awesome."
This is the best day of my
Dad, you
life.
look like you're struggling.
Yeah, Dad, I don't think this is
You're
awesome.
gonna have a heart attack. He's like, I love this.
He loves the pain.
Yeah, loves the pain.
Martin loves to be uncomfortable. He should
Yeah.
meet Matt.
Oh, you guys would get on. Like,
We
house
do
on
get
fire.
do
on.
get on
We
well,
do
yeah.
get on really well. From my end, we get on really well.
I can't imagine anybody not getting along with Martin.
No, that's
He's
true.
a delight. All of our dads.
Yeah, I get on with both of your dads pretty well, and dare I say your mums.
Hey. Don't you dare say that about our mums.
You'll have lovely families as well.
Don't you lie to me. So Terry's story grabbed the attention and the hearts of the Canadian people.
That's great.
So it's really starting to like get a bit of buzz. People waited for hours on the roadside to watch Terry pass. They'd hand him cash, like I said before. They cheered him on. His run inspired others to do what they could as well to contribute towards his fundraising efforts. A man in Hamilton sat in a vat of banana lemon custard.
I'm doing what I can.
Terry, you inspired this.
He raised $912.
That a vat of custard's surely going to cost more than
I'm
that.
paying you to not ruin that beautiful custard. Why are you doing it to the custard?
Terry, I'm doing it for you too.
Terry, I took your advice and you've inspired me. Oh, great, you're going for a run? No, I'm sitting in a vat of custard. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, though.
Thank you.
Terry's running along and he sees a man run up to him covered in custard. Terry, I raised $900 for you.
Covered in custard as well.
Yeah, the money is ruined.
It's falling apart a bit, but it's still legal tender, Terry.
It's so
It's
funny.
delicious legal tender.
How do people think of that idea and then
I
think,
don't know.
this is a good one?
It's a good one. In Gravenhurst, the heart of Ontario's cottage country, with a population of 8,000, they raised more than $14,000. They've gone above and beyond $1 each.
Yes.
A musician, apparently with that cash, handed Terry his $500 guitar.
What?
So people are just like, there's really a buzz about it. It's very like,
Sorry, I don't think I understood that sentence.
the guy didn't have any cash on him, so he gave him a guitar that was worth $500 and
Well,
said, this is worth $500.
Terry's running and now he's going to finish the marathon for the day with a guitar. Thank you, but this is really annoying.
Surely you just shove that straight in the van.
give
You
it-
go, could you give that to Doug?
Yeah,
Doug will take that
Doug
one, I
will take
reckon.
that.
And when you said no money on him, no cash on
Yeah,
him.
so obviously, like, if he was busking, he was not good. So maybe it's maybe it's a blessing that he took the guitar.
Okay, I'm worried. This guy's the last thing he has, and it's the only way. His only means to make money, and he gives that away.
Maybe he's just like, I don't have cash on me, but I
Yeah.
do have my guitar on
And
me.
I've got one of my many guitars.
Exactly,
on
that's
me.
probably more it. But I never have cash on me.
That would have
But
been
when
a
you-
good guitar.
When you make a donation, though, that's the kind of language you use when you've got a loan shark. Take my guitar; it's worth $500.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
swear, you'll get a good dollar. You get at least $300 for that. Promise me you'll get at least $300 for that.
And where have you been experiencing that kind of stuff, Dave?
Is everything okay, Dave?
Yeah, it was. I had to pawn my watch collection. Extensive. This Mickey Mouse watch. I swear.
Sorry, he misspoke. He had to watch his porn collection. Sorry.
and the dealer's like, what?
Why did you come in here to do this?
No, I'm good for it. Look, what you can watch me watch.
You watch me watch. Do you like to watch?
Oh, this is a good bit. This is a good bit.
I love this bit. I love this bit.
This is why the tape's a bit funny because
Yeah.
I've
Pause on
paused
this
it
bit.
down a
Pause on
lot.
this bit. Enhance.
You can really see. I think you can see a boob in this one. What kind of porn is this, Dave?
You could see a boob. So Terry's run caught the attention of Isidore Sharp, the founder and CEO of Four Seasons Hotel and Resorts, who lost a son to melanoma in 1978, just a year after Terry's diagnosis. So Sharp gave food and accommodation at his hotels to Fox's team. When Fox was discouraged when donations slowed up a little bit, Sharp pledged $2 a mile and persuaded close to 1,000 other corporations to do the same.
Oh, that's got to add up quick.
So he really got on board. He was a big supporter.
Because that, I imagine just being able to stay in a nice hotel
Yeah.
most nights.
Just get
Because
a
that's a big
decent sleep.
chain, right?
Yeah, and quite often if they didn't have a place to stay, they would sleep in the van, which it's camper van, but it's not like we're thinking the bougie ones today. I think it's pretty rough.
Full of cash and guitars.
It's filled with guitars and money.
Yeah, it's more like a Scrooge McDuck's money pit.
yeah. It's uncomfortable for them to sleep in it because they're sleeping on money,
Yeah.
which doesn't breathe well.
Yeah, it sounds fun, but it's not.
It's not. Dave's done it.
Dave's done it quite a few
Yeah,
times.
Dave's got
I'm going to give it one more go.
Dave's got a waterbed, but it's stuffed with cash. So, as I sort of mentioned before, at the beginning of his run, there was little fanfare. Some people would cheer him on as he passed, but more often than not, it was just him on the road and Doug along behind him. But as attention grew, so too did the crowds. When Terry crossed into Ontario on the last Saturday in June, he was met by a brass band and thousands of residents who lined the streets to cheer him on, while the Ontario Provincial Police gave him an escort through the province. And there's video footage of it, of just streets lined with people, thousands of people turning up, police escorts, and he's just running along as
That's
people are cheering.
amazing.
It's so nice. On his arrival in Ottawa, Fox met Governor General Ed Schreier, Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau,
Any relation?
yes! I didn't know. I was like, wait a second.
Nepo
There's
baby.
no way we've got two Trudeaus. And after a very quick Wikipedia search, I went, oh, yeah, that's his son. And he was the guest of honour at numerous sporting events in the city. In front of 16,000 fans, he performed a ceremonial kickoff at a Canadian Football League game and was given a standing ovation. Oh, and he had also barely slept the night before and had run about 14 miles or 22 Ks that day, and so far had run a total of 3,123 kilometres.
Wow.
So he gets up, does a run, has a little bit of a rest, goes and does a ceremonial kickoff in front of 16,000 people, gets a standing ovation, normal day. So events like this kept happening. On July 11, Fox arrived in Toronto, where a crowd of 10,000 people met him, and he was honoured in Nathan Phillips Square. As he ran to the square, he was joined on the road by many people, including National Hockey League star Daryl Sittler, who presented Fox with his 1980 All-Star Game jersey.
Whoa.
The Cancer Society estimated that they collected $100,000 in donations that day alone.
That's awesome.
So it's really like there's a lot of buzz.
It does also feel like these people are hindering his run, though. It's hard to get through the square. There's too many people. What?
That's
So
why
what
there
do
was
you-
a
what do
police
you-
escort.
What do you
They're
think
like-
is more important to him, the run or the fundraising?
On the way to your run, can you just kick a football here? Mate, I've got another 14 miles to do today. All right, suppose I'll come in there.
And he kind of, I don't know if I mentioned this in the report, but essentially he would get up at 4:30 every day, run about like 14, have a rest, run the rest in the afternoon. Like he'd be up every day. It's insane.
I can't believe, is his body really hurting and he just runs through it?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
How do you do it?
Yeah, I don't know how.
How many pimples does he have?
None. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't
yeah.
know
Okay.
true pain.
Blessed with good skin, okay?
Yeah.
Hard to feel sorry.
Must be nice.
Hard to support.
Yeah. Hard to get on board with this guy. I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way with his perfect skin.
Do you know
No,
how many?
I can't believe I just can't get my head around it.
Yeah, same. Do you know how many pairs of like runners he's getting
No,
through
I'm
and
not
stuff like
sure.
that?
I didn't
You
read that
imagine
anywhere.
like they must be wearing out every couple of days almost.
Right? You're
Yeah.
running so much.
Yeah, wow.
And on like, highways and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Very
And how does it
interesting.
work on the highway? He's obviously running like, at running pace, but not that quick.
Yeah.
And then Doug's behind him in the van.
Yeah.
Is there just like a stream of traffic behind him all the time?
oh.
Go round.
Yeah, I'm sure they go round.
Doug's main job is just waving.
Yeah, just
go round.
go round.
Go round. Fun run. Fun run. Fundraising run.
That's what it stands
That's
for.
what it stands for, I guess. Hold on. A fund run.
Fund run.
It's a fund run. Go round.
But safely.
He's
So,
doing
like,
it.
don't hit him.
Don't hit him. He's saying this to every single car. That's good for-
Fund run.
Fund run.
And the Four Seasons Hotel,
I like the wave around you're doing.
Go
It's funny.
he gets $1 for every time he says go round.
Go round.
Go round.
Go round. Cost you $1.
That's $1 raise. That's $1 raise right there.
So yeah, I don't think he's upset that he's meeting hockey stars and making hundreds of thousands of dollars in one day. I don't think he's upset by
Hi,
it.
I'm Hockey All-Star. Get out of my way!
I think for him, the priority is the fundraising.
and the publicity. Okay.
And like I said before, like he would accept invitations to stuff if he thought it could, raise a bit more money. He would detour to go and like speak to people in a town or like, go to stuff like this where he might be honoured or where people turn up because it's going to raise money. It's going to create buzz.
And he can have a fucking rest for a second.
Nah,
there
he
must
won't
be
do
part
that.
of it like you have to stand, but he's running around them as they're like
Yeah.
at the
Like when you stopped at the lights and you see runners keep jogging. I'm like, shut up. Enjoy a breather for a second.
Yeah,
Gotta keep the rhythm.
Jesus.
Gotta keep the rhythm.
So, the day that they raised $100,000 and he met Daryl Sittler, that evening he threw the ceremonial first pitch at Exhibition Stadium before a baseball game between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Cleveland Indians. As he continued through Southern Ontario, he was met by Hockey Hall of Fame player Bobby Orr, who presented him with a check for $25,000. And Terry considered meeting Bobby Orr the highlight of his journey.
Wow.
He was like, Bobby frickin' Orr. It was really exciting.
What's Bobby Orr, a baseballer?
Hockey.
Hockey. That's what I
Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, same
He
thing.
was so good at baseball, they put him in the Hockey Hall
Can
of
you believe
Fame.
that?
But he threw the first pitch.
Yes,
At the hockey game?
At the
Threw the first puck.
through the first puck through a window. It was really weird. Terry, no.
He crashed the first Zamboni. Ceremonially.
As his fame grew, the Cancer Society scheduled more and more functions for him to attend, and he made speeches and he met people all over Canada.
Right. So before they were a little bit like, I don't know if this guy's going to do it. Now he's like such a superstar for them. raising such good money,
Yeah.
such great awareness. They're like putting him out as like the number one PR.
They're really they're really backing him. This is from Wikipedia, that wonderful medical journal, which had quite a bit of information about this story, which is
great.
interesting. It's not all medical, but they still had a lot of info on it. The physical demands of running a marathon every day took their toll on Fox's body. Apart from the rest day in Montreal taken at the request of the Cancer Society. Oh, yeah. So the Cancer Society asked him, he was like approaching Montreal and they were like, oh, can you slow down a little so you arrive on a certain day so they could, thousands of people can turn up. So he did have a couple of rest days leading up to that, but in total he had about 4 rest days.
Unbelievable.
Insane. Anyway, so apart from those couple of days so that he could sort of delay his arrival in Montreal, he refused to take a day off, even on his 22nd birthday. Now, I love to fucking give myself a day off on a birthday. So I'd be like, no, I can't run today. It's my birthday. I can't run today. No. But Terry just keeps doing it. I don't get this guy.
What's his deal?
He frequently had shin splints and an inflamed knee. He developed cysts on his stump and experienced dizzy spells. At one point, he had a soreness in his ankle that would not go away. Although he feared he'd developed a stress fracture, he ran for 3 more days before seeking medical attention and was then relieved to learn it was tendinitis and could be treated with painkillers. Wow. He just
Good
keeps
result.
going.
Cysts, Dave, are they better or worse than pimples? Probably easier to deal with than pimples.
You don't have to pop. You never hear of popping a cyst, do you?
No, you never do.
You never pop a cyst.
I don't think you pop a cyst by yourself. I think a doctor deals with a cyst
Exactly,
for you.
so it's nothing.
You drain a cyst, maybe.
Exactly. And a doctor does it.
Right.
So
But
whatever.
you're not going. But you did go to a doctor for your pimple.
You went to Dr. Pimple Popper, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right. But for a cyst, I'd be also put into a coma. So
Yeah.
put
Double
me,
coma.
put me under. So he continued to run through the summer heat despite obvious discomfort. I mean, he's running a marathon every day. By late August, Terry was feeling exhausted when he woke up, even before he'd started the day's marathon. From Wikipedia, on September 1st, outside Thunder Bay, he was forced to stop briefly after he had an intense coughing fit and experienced pain in his chest. He resumed running as the crowds along the highway shouted out their encouragement. A few miles later, short of breath and with continued chest pain, he asked Doug Allwood to drive him to a hospital.
oh no. Poor
Now,
Terry.
we've already talked about like Terry battling through everything, he just keeps going. So it's sort of, he's the type of person that if he's like, I need to see a doctor,
You're
I'd
like,
be,
oh, shit.
Yeah, I'd be like,
You don't say, "Are you sure?"
Clock's
yeah,
ticking.
I'd
You
be
say-
like, fuck.
Get in.
Yeah.
That's right. So the next day, so now it's like September 2nd, Terry held a press conference during which he announced that cancer had spread to his lungs.
No.
He was forced to end his run after 143 days
Wow.
and 5,373 kilometres, or 3,339
She
miles.
doesn't seem that far off then.
Yeah, he's done pretty well. From terryfox.org, he'd made it about 2/3 of the way.
Amazing.
He said, I'll do everything I can. I'm going to do my very best. I'll fight. I promise I won't give up. And this is all from Terry Fox. His father, Rolly, was overheard saying, I think it's unfair, very unfair. I don't feel this is unfair, Terry told him. That's the thing about cancer. I'm not the only one. It happens all the time to other people. I'm not special. This just intensifies what I did. It gives it more meaning. It'll inspire more people. I could have sat on my rear end. I could have forgotten what I'd seen in the hospital, but I didn't. Like, fucking what? What an attitude to have. How many people do something they really believe in? I just wish people would realise that anything's possible if you try. Dreams are made if people try. When I started this run, I said that if we all gave $1, we'd have 22 million for cancer research, or 24. And I don't care, man. There's no reason this isn't possible. No reason. I'd like to see everybody go kind of wild, inspired with the fundraising. So the run...
Oh, man, that custard guy. What's he gonna do with that?
You want me to go what? All right, Terry.
Okay.
I was being pretty reserved before, but
All right, I'll go a little wild. So the run didn't end with Terry dipping his artificial leg in the seawaters off Vancouver's Stanley Park as intended. Instead, he was taken by ambulance back to the Royal Columbian Hospital. He continued to wear his Marathon of Hope t-shirt in hospital and refused the many offers, including one from the Toronto Maple Leaf hockey team, to finish his run for him. He was like, it has to be me that finishes it. So other people were sort of like, we'll pick it up from here. And he's like, nah. But the whole hockey team was like, we'll do it.
that's incredible.
Isn't that amazing? So,
And that's not part of their sport, running.
not typically.
That's not something that I assume can even do.
If they'd offered to skate the whole way,
Yeah,
I'd
that
be
makes
like,
sense.
well, yeah, they'll do that quite
Rollerblade it,
quickly.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think they're interchangeable skills, but running and skating aren't.
No.
Jeez, that's interesting.
So it was a huge national response. By the time he was forced to abandon the Marathon of Hope, Terry had raised 1.7 million, equivalent to 6 million in 2023. So 1.7 million, which is huge.
So he ticked off his first goal.
Yeah.
And actually his third goal of $1.
He'd done it. A week after his run, the CTV television network organised a nationwide telethon in support of Terry Fox and the Canadian Cancer Society. Supported by Canadian and international celebrities, the 5-hour event raised $10.5 million.
Holy shit.
That's unbelievable.
So he's not even running now, but the funds keep coming.
And you said a bit over one is worth $6 million.
Yeah, so the 10.5 equivalent today would be about $37 million.
That's unbelievable.
It's wild.
And he was up not even at 2 yet. So it's like
Yeah.
quadrupled it.
Yeah, and so he's right. He's kind of like, I hope that me having to stop because the cancer has spread really lights a fire under people's asses, and it does. So of that 10.5 million, there was $1 million each by the governments of British Columbia and Ontario. The former to create a new research institute to be founded in Fox's name, and the latter an endowment given to the Ontario Cancer Treatment and Research Foundation.
He seems like a guy, if he was around at the right time, a whole religion would have started around him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if he was around 1,000 years ago, there'd be Foxites.
Yeah.
And they'd be different to the Fox viewers. Probably the modern day Fox
Very
sites
different.
quite different. Well, I don't know, but I know you're a big viewer of Fox News, and
absolutely.
I mean 50% of our audience are Fox
I
News
love
viewers.
Fox News, and the other 50 are doctors. There's no crossover.
Funny that.
So donations continued throughout the winter, and by April, over 23 million had been raised.
Whoa, Terry! 23 million!
Yeah. Supporters and well-wishers from around the world inundated Fox with letters and tokens of support. At one point, he was receiving more mail than the rest of his hometown combined. Such was his fame that one letter addressed simply to Terry Fox, Canada, was successfully delivered.
That is...
Isn't that wild?
He's like Santa.
He's getting more mail than his entire town.
Wow, and he'd had enough guitars donated to open up an entire music shop.
No offense to his town, but I'm not that surprised by this.
It's insane.
What's his town?
In September,
What's his town done?
Yeah, what have they done? In September of 1980, Fox was honoured in a special ceremony as a Companion of the Order of Canada. He was the youngest person to be honoured this way. The Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia named him to the Order of the Dogwood, the province's highest award.
That sounds cool.
Canada's Sports Hall of Fame commissioned a permanent exhibit, and Fox was named the winner of the Lou Marsh Award for 1980 as the nation's top athlete. The Ottawa Citizen described the national response to his marathon as one of the most powerful outpourings of emotion and generosity in Canada's history. It's huge.
Terry, wow.
So this is all happening. Over the following months, Terry received more rounds of chemo as well as experimental treatments to try and, battle his cancer. Canadians hoped for a miracle, and Pope John Paul II sent a telegram saying that he was praying for Fox. In June of 1981, he was admitted to hospital with chest congestion, which developed into pneumonia. And tragically, he fell into a coma and passed away in the wee hours of the morning of June 28, 1981, 1 month shy of his 23rd birthday.
Holy shit.
So young. Wow.
Isn't that it's incredible and so sad. The government of Canada ordered flags across the country lowered to half-mast, an unprecedented honour that's usually reserved for statesmen. But they lowered the flags for Terry. Addressing the House of Commons, Prime Minister Trudeau said, "It occurs very rarely in the life of a nation that the courageous spirit of one person unites all people in the celebration of his life and in the mourning of his death. We do not think of him as one who was defeated by misfortune, but as one who inspired us with the example of triumph of the human spirit over adversity," which is very nice. His funeral was broadcast on national TV. Hundreds of communities across Canada also held memorial services. A public memorial service was held on Parliament Hill in Ottawa, and Canadians again overwhelmed Cancer Society offices with donations. So again, it just kept bumping. So he absolutely met his goal of $1 for every Canadian.
That is awesome.
It's huge. He's left a massive legacy, obviously. Although he didn't get to complete the Marathon of Hope and passed away at a tragically young age, his efforts and spirit were hugely impactful. During his marathon, Isidore Sharp proposed an annual fundraising run in Fox's name, and Terry agreed, but insisted that the runs be non-competitive and include anyone who wanted to participate. Over 300,000 people took part and raised $3.5 million in the first Terry Fox run.
300,000?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
300,000 people did it. Schools across Canada were urged to join the second run, held in September of 1982. School participation has continued since, evolving into like the National School Run Day, which is a big part of the reason so many Canadians suggested Terry as a topic, because several of them mentioned growing up doing the Terry Fox run every year at school.
They all learned about him.
Yeah. So the runs, which raised over $20 million in their first 6 years, grew into an international event, and now as over 1 million people in 60 countries took part in 1999, raising $15 million that year alone. It's a huge fundraiser. By the Terry Fox Run's 25th anniversary, more than 3 million people were taking part annually. Grants from the Terry Fox Foundation, which organises the runs, have helped Canadian scientists make numerous advances in cancer research.
Oh, you wish he knew.
I know. So the Terry Fox Run is the world's largest one-day fundraiser for cancer research. And as of May 2022, I couldn't find the most up-to-date numbers, but as of May 2022, over $850 million has been raised.
Hands are on my head. That is unbelievable.
Isn't that insane? It's absolutely incredible. So I've wanted to do this topic for ages, but I was also like, it's very sad, but it's incredible. Like, it's so, I don't know, it's so bittersweet, but also so beautiful to see what this young man did.
Yes, and that it's still ongoing. The legacy is unbelievable. Like,
it's huge.
Who else has that?
There's a couple of times even just like reading the Wikipedia page, just alone in my study going, just little, like getting a bit choked up. It's amazing. So there's an entire Wikipedia page of monuments and memorials to Terry Fox, but let me just list off a few for you. So there's approximately 32 roads and streets, 14 schools, 7 statues, 9 running trails, and a previously unnamed mountain in the Canadian Rockies that have all been named after Terry Fox. It's named Mount Terry Fox.
Oh,
I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe Mount Terry would be good.
Mount Terry would be fantastic.
His story was dramatised in the 1983 biographical film The Terry Fox Story. It was aired as a television, like a TV movie in the US, and had a theatre run in Canada. It starred amputee actor Eric Fryer and Robert Duvall. Bit of fun.
As Doug.
High school friends. In my head, Robert Duvall has always been very old.
Yeah.
But he definitely was like, it was in the 80s. He was still...
No, I mean, in The Godfather, he was already looked like he wasn't a high schooler.
Yeah, that's right. So while Terry wouldn't allow anyone else to take over his run when he was forced to stop, he did, of course, inspire others. Steve Fonyo, an 18-year-old with the same form of cancer and who also had a leg amputated, sought in 1984 to duplicate Fox's run, calling his effort The Journey for Lives. After leaving St. John on March 31st, Foyno reached the point where Fox was forced to end his marathon at the end of November and completed the transcontinental run in May of 1985. The Journey for Lives raised over $13 million for cancer research. Crazy. And he stopped where Terry had to stop sort of on purpose, like as a nod to him.
It's and that probably didn't even count in that money you're talking about before. The fundraising he even inspired is wild.
Is incredible.
How many custard bars are people having every year just
knows?
because?
Yeah, I was wondering why everyone did that.
It's because of Terry.
Yeah, and they cost $900.
Canadian Paralympic athlete Rick Hansen, he was the one who had recruited Fox to play on his wheelchair basketball team in the 70s. He was also inspired by the Marathon of Hope. He had first considered circumnavigating the globe in his wheelchair in 1974, and he decided to do it. He began the Man in Motion World Tour in 1985 with the goal of raising $10 million towards research into spinal cord injuries. As Foyno had, Hansen paused at the spot Fox's run ended to honour the late runner. He completed his world tour in 87 after 792 days and 40,000 kilometres, or nearly 25,000 miles, and he travelled through 34 countries and raised over $26 million.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? So
Good. Love that name, Man in Motion.
yeah, it's good, isn't it?
That song's on my my running playlist. It's a good running song.
Man in Motion.
Yeah. It's an Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion, I think it's called. Or I'm totally wrong and it's called something else like Flibbity Flub. And I've just misremembered it.
I love Flibbity Flub. It's also on my running playlist.
Wanna be a Flibbity Flub.
Great song. A banger. So Terry's family continued to fundraise and spread awareness, as Terry had set out to do. With so much public attention on his cause and on his passing, Betty Fox, she basically had no time to grieve. She took on the development of the Terry Fox Run with the Canadian Cancer Society. In 1988, the Terry Fox Foundation became its own charitable organisation, and Betty took the lead on many parts of the run and the foundation, ensuring Terry's wishes and goals were reflected in the run's organisation. It's estimated that Betty spoke to more than 400,000 school children alone during her 25 years of touring the country, leaving each and every child with the inspirational story of the Marathon of Hope. The final words of every speech, "Never ever give up on your dreams," have become her hallmark. So she just spent the rest of her life working on this organisation.
That's really nice.
She passed away at the age of 73 in 2011. Terry's father, Rolly, passed away in 2016. The Fox family is still heavily involved in the foundation, and on the foundation's website they say, "Terry's legacy is vibrant today because there are Terry Foxes from coast to coast, south to north, responsible for continuing the Marathon of Hope. Our collective promise to Terry is we will not rest until his dream, which has become our own, is realised." Isn't that nice?
So nice.
That is nice, and still going is
Still going.
amazing.
Yeah, it's huge. Like there's runs every year. There's all sorts of events. It's absolutely massive. And yeah, you can see now why so many Canadians and one Australian and one American suggested the story of Terry Fox, because although it's so sad that a person died so young, it's also like what an amazing achievement he did. What an inspirational person. And just a very cool story.
It just is like his vision, right?
Yeah.
I kept forgetting he was so young.
Yeah.
He's 22 and he's like, if we can do another run, but it's not competitive. Like, imagine being 22, yeah, great. Put my name on it for sure.
Totally.
Make it a run. It's going to be competitive. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he's like,
Yeah, it's sponsored by Shell.
everything. He's
Right.
just like, no, it's important that it's this way. I need it to be anyone can enter.
Yeah.
Competitive makes it a totally different thing.
Yep.
I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
What Terry said, actually, I'm in the bed next to him. Yeah, Terry.
In the bed.
In the bed.
You mean like in a hospital?
I poked my head out.
Yeah. You're not just in his bed.
Yeah, I'm like, no, what Terry? Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
ask why I'm in here.
Why are you even asking me?
Listen to Terry.
Listen to Terry. And everyone's like, who's this guy?
Who is this?
Could someone shut this guy up? Yeah, people do say that. Sorry, mate. I don't know. I've got a problem. Can't
Sorry
shut
about
up.
that. Sorry
I can't
about
shut
that.
up. I talk so slow, but I don't stop.
I'm a nightmare. Sorry. But there you go. That is the story of Terry Fox.
That is amazing.
Pretty cool,
Amazing.
huh? And like it's a roller coaster.
By the way, Terry is that's on my list of great names.
Yeah.
It's there with Gary and Greg.
And Fox is a great last name.
Fox is
Nearly
fantastic.
any name goes with Fox.
Megan Fox.
Incredible. Do another name.
What about Fox?
Oh, Mulder
Ooh,
Fox.
Mulder
Yeah.
Fox.
What about Jessica Fox?
Oh my God.
That actually is really good.
Incredible. Matthew Fox.
Yeah, that's a person,
That's
isn't
an
it?
actor.
I think David Fox works, but what Dave Fox isn't as
Dave
good.
Fox isn't good. You'd have to be a David.
Yeah, David Fox.
It's because the
Oh.
V and the F run together.
Yeah.
David Fox.
Dave Fox.
Too much.
David Fox. David Fox by name. David Fox by nature. Fox in the streets, but also a fox in the sheets. I don't think it works, Dave.
It'll
I mean,
works.
it's false advertising, but I think it would work.
There's the terryfox.org is the foundation's website, and there's a lot of information. There's like a visual map there as well of sort of his journey and how far he made it, and there's a timeline and stuff.
Not to be a smart ass, but what other kind of maps are there? We're just wondering. What is a visual map? I'm not trying to be a smart ass. What does a visual map mean?
Like it's interactive.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Little fuck.
I'm sorry about that.
Babe.
Babe, I'm
Come
so
on, babe.
sorry, babe. I'm a nightmare. I'm so sorry, babe. I'm being a nightmare, aren't I, babe? You are a nightmare, babe. I'm talking to myself now, babe. Yeah.
Do we need to be here or can we go?
I don't know who they are, babe. Don't worry about them, babe. We're all good, babe. We don't need them, babe. Well, hey, Jess, what a fantastic tale.
Great
Thank
work,
you.
Jess.
And you know
Thank
what?
you.
It is, where I remember it from? It's in the mix because it's been so often suggested. It's in the block poll every year. And I think, in brackets, I put what the story is, and the brackets is Canadian hero.
Yeah.
But I never knew more than that.
Yeah.
So that's why my head went Canadian. It'd been baked in.
It was
but
in there.
I knew none of that.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I do now. I mean, it makes me feel like a real piece of shit, but also inspired as well.
Oh, what an inspiring person. Just, yeah. And I mean, that's part of the fun of like this podcast is we get to talk about people who do pretty amazing things, and we get to sit here and go, Jesus Christ, I could never do that.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
but then we talk about a serial killer and we go, Jesus Christ, I could never do that. And then we
Yeah.
reflect well.
That's true.
So, as long
Jesus,
as
I could never rob a bank.
No.
Because I'm a good
I'm
person.
a good person.
A
It's
lazy
not a work
person.
ethic thing.
Yeah. I'm lazy, but that's got nothing to do with it.
But yeah, so good, Bob. But hey, did you know that brings us to everyone's favourite section of the show? A lot of people probably have just skipped to this point now. Welcome to the show. You should rewind. And
Yeah, that was a good one.
Just have to rewind.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And go back to the start of the tape and listen to a fantastic story about the life of Jeff Foxworthy, I think. And am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
And
We also mentioned Robert Duvall.
oh, that's true. A couple of the greats. But Terry Fox.
Terry Fox, sorry.
And this sounds like we're probably recording this bit a month later, but we're not. We did not even stop at all. But this part of the show, we thank some of our fantastic Patreon supporters. If you want to be involved, please go to patreon.com/2-1-pod. There's a bunch of different levels. Dave, you can explain what the different levels entail.
Well, you get to vote for 2 out of 3 of the topics. So you get to influence what the show is. I put a vote up recently, and you know what? One topic won by 2 votes.
Whoa.
2 votes. It was so close to the top. You can get access to bonus episodes. We put out 4 every single month, including our new Dungeons & Dragons campaign that we're bringing out monthly, as well as over 200 plus bonus episodes that you get access to straight away.
Including can you tell them briefly about what we recorded today that'll already be out?
Oh, we went through it was an oral history of my high school punk band, Weed Hornet.
With the singer. We had the singer
That's
in
right,
as
we
a
had
guest.
Tom Mitchell, the singer. My dear friend Tom came on and we spoke about the history of the band, how it all came about, and then we listened to our CD that we recorded 20 years ago, and it was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun. Had a great time. And you can hear Jess really enjoy the term crack the shits.
Oh, I love crack. Exactly, that was that episode. And you can also hear about live shows before anyone else and get discount codes for the live show. So you get money off tickets. Joining the Patreon, it saves you money as well somehow.
That's right. There's like four different levels depending on where you're on, but any level you get the discounts and whatnot. I think the lowest level you get to vote one every cycle and whatnot. But anyway, the first thing we normally do is the fact quote or question section, which actually I think, if I'm remembering right, has a little jingle. Maybe go something like this.
Fact, quote, or question.
He always remembers the ding, but that's not how I remember it going. But
I
yeah,
loved that.
I liked it.
I loved that.
I hope that's the new version. Was that
Of the ding or the sing?
the sing?
Ah, thank you.
It was beautiful.
His ding was shit.
The ding was fine.
The sing
but
was
the sing
fantastic.
the sing.
I back you up.
No,
It's true, you
me
do
up.
back
I said I don't think I said it was shit, but it did feel shit compared to how good the sing was.
Well, so we'd all agree to that.
Yeah,
The ding needed a lift in light of the new sing. That's all.
But I don't
Something to think about for
we
next
wanted
week.
the ding to outshone the sing.
outshone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true too. Anyway,
Almost got it.
if you're on the fact, quote, or question level, which is the Sydney Scheinberg level, you get to give us a fact, quote, or question, or really whatever you like, brag, suggestion. People have really been taking it for a bit of a walk recently. I've got 3 to read out today. If you are on that level, feel free to get them in because the sack is running low, which is what I put the facts, quotes, and questions in. DM me on Patreon if you don't have the link, but you should have it somewhere. Anyway, the first one comes from Piper Gallagher. Everyone also gets to give themselves a title. I should also say I don't read them out till I read them out, just in case I stuff anything up. Anyway, Piper has got the title of Everyone Seems to Be Picking a Do Go On Family Member title, so I feel like I should too. Let's see here. I don't know. I'll be the fucking dog or some shit. Oh, I took a turn.
Okay, well, yeah. That tone was confusing. But that's, I think, mostly in Matt's
Matt did
delivery.
Well, that was in the read.
That's right.
Howard, any notes?
God, no.
No.
There's
Nailed
nothing
it?
I can do to fix it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Too far
beyond help.
gone, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Piper Gallagher, the podcast dog, is offering a recipe.
We love dogs, so that's good.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. What kind of recipes do the dogs normally come up with?
Dog treats?
All right, well, let's see if this is what it is. Piper writes, I'm sorry if this is long. The written word carried me on an unstoppable wave that I had no choice but to ride until it's breaking on the shore of literature.
Wow.
This is a recipe for an everything sauce I developed while carrying out my sentence at Papa's Pizza on West 11th Avenue. I call it Zaza sauce, and the reasoning is twofold. Onefold, it was developed at a pizza restaurant. I hope you're following the train of thought there.
Yep.
So far, so good.
Yep.
Fold 2, it's so good, it makes you feel like you just smoked some of that exquisitely dankalicious Zaza. We all know that feeling.
Yeah.
And the rest-
Dave especially.
Oh my God, puff.
But yeah, enough of the puff, Dave. A bit more of the give, mate.
Okay.
This recipe is as follows. 2 parts buttermilk ranch, medium consistency, not too runny or too thick. Goldilocks style.
Okay, I think I'm already lost at what buttermilk ranch is.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, ranch.
Ranch.
Ranch is
With
big over
buttermilk,
there.
is that 2 things put together?
They love ranch.
No, I think it's just a style of ranch, buttermilk ranch. It's a more specific thing of a thing we don't know.
Ranch.
Does Subway do ranch though? We
Ranch.
could go to a local Subway and ask for a bottle. Can we get 1 bottle of ranch, please?
Oh, buttermilk versions, as you guessed it, have the addition of buttermilk and tend to be a bit thinner.
In what?
According to allrecipes.com.
They have buttermilk in the what?
In the ranch.
Ranch.
Sorry about that, in the ranch.
So you got 2 parts buttermilk ranch, 1 part barbecue sauce, garlic powder to taste. This word I don't know. Cayenne powder to taste, or cayenne.
Cayenne.
Cayenne. The best version. What does that mean?
It's a pepper.
It's a pepper, yeah.
The best version, like a green pepper or a black pepper.
Red.
Red, but it's like a bell pepper.
Red, yes.
Like a
chili.
capsicum.
Like a
But you
chili.
can also
Yes.
get it in like powdered form too.
Yeah, I get cayenne powder.
The best versions to use for these base sauces are from Papa's Pizza itself. But since they don't exist outside of Oregon, your favourite varieties should certainly serve you just as well as long as you don't dwell for too long on what might have been. It's sweet, creamy. This is like
a chili.
Chili pepper. Gotcha. It's sweet, creamy, and a little spicy, just like its creator. It's delicious on cold cut sandwiches, dipping fries, or chippies. I think that's for you, Jess.
Chippies.
And it's good on burgers. Hell, it could even make a decent salad dressing if you're one of those perverts who like salad, no judgment. I mean, it sounds like a little bit of judgment. Perverts was in all caps.
Pervs love salad.
Pervs
Nothing
love
pervy than a salad.
Especially tossing a salad.
Oh my
my
God.
God.
Stop it, Matt. This is a child-friendly podcast.
Oh, creamy salad, no thank you.
Have I sworn on this podcast?
This episode?
Yeah.
This could be the first time.
Maybe this might get a child free. Get a child free. It might be whatever the version.
Friendly.
Child friendly. Child age free.
Mark the episode as child free. And for another week, we haven't had a child on the show, so no child labour laws broken here. Child free. We're all adults. Oh, I checked.
What does that mean?
You have to have ID to come into this podcast.
Okay, that
you
makes
do.
more sense.
It was very flattering when he asked me. My personal favourite use for the Tsar, as it's known to legend, is on a hoagie.
That's really
with
good.
turkey, salami, and pepper jack cheese. A generous drizzle and a firm flattening of the sandwich to get the sauce nice and soaked into the bread makes a perfect summertime lunch. I now realize that this has become one of those recipe blog posts which rambles on too far and for too long about anything other than the recipe, and that this realization is just adding to that fact. But frankly, if that's an issue, it sounds like you need to chill out and just enjoy some Zaza. Wink emoji. Wow. Thank you so much, Piper.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Piper. That
Piper.
was one of the most American recipes I've ever come across.
It was indecipherable.
Yeah, but I could imagine what it was going to be like.
I mean,
Like,
I'd love to try
But it was
it.
going to be on a hoagie with turkey and like a pepper cheese. That sounds incredible. That sounds
Yeah.
like you go down to
I wonder what it
the
means.
bodega and get a sub.
What is a bodega again? It's like a corner shop.
Yeah.
Corner shop there, but I think they sometimes
It's a
have
much
like a
better
little
name.
deli thing in there.
Oh my god,
Well,
I want to
that's
go to
the
a
one
deli.
I went to anyway, and it had something like that with like a really saucy sandwich with
I want to go to a bodega.
a couple of types
Yeah,
of cheese.
I want to go to a bodega. Next, thank you so much, Piper. The next one comes from Rebecca Healy, Junior AI Wrangler or Junior Al Wrangler. I'm not sure. And it's a suggestion. And Rebecca writes, "Hi all, I have a couple of suggestions, if that's okay." Sure is. First of all, Matt, whenever ice hockey comes up, like I did today, you seem to talk about the Penguins. I didn't today, but yeah, the Penguins, go Flames.
Yeah,
That's the
there's a
Calgary
place
team.
called Penguin in Tassie.
So good. And there's a big penguin there.
Yeah.
Tony Martin talks about it in his stand-up at some point, I think.
Huh.
And he's like, I'll butcher it, but it's like, it's not that big, but it is big for a penguin.
It's big for a
So
penguin.
it's like a model of a penguin. There's not just one big penguin that lives there.
Yeah, model of a
It's a
penguin.
statue.
Like an Australian
Unfortunately,
big thing.
I did imagine a live one, and now I'm disappointed.
There's just one big penguin there.
There's a big penguin there.
We don't know how it got
Really?
there.
How big?
Rebecca says, that's okay and all, but since you're a Pantera fan, I'd really like to humbly invite you to the Dallas Stars fold, because about to write that, I was about to say. Pantera wrote our goal/fight song, and it's hands down the best one in the league. Honest. Watch it here. You can watch it. I've seen it. It's very good.
Oh, cool.
If it wasn't for me getting a Penguins hat as a child, as a reward for not biting my nails for a month.
Did you get to
Then-
pick the hat, or was it just given to you?
I was in I picked it, but it was out of the discount bin at Sportsmart. It was a cool hat. I had no idea what it
I
meant.
had an Orlando Magic hat just because I thought it was cool.
I got given
I couldn't afford an Orlando Magic hat. That's what I wanted.
That's the difference between you and I.
Yeah.
My grandparents brought me back from America a San Jose Sharks hat.
Wow.
Ooh, what do they play?
That's an NHL one.
Right. Go
It was a
Sharks.
really cool hat. I lost it on a school camp.
Oh my god.
Did it have that thing where you could pull the thing and it like snapped the shark?
Oh, you better
Man.
believe it.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, you lost it.
it's even better live, even if it's been over 20 years since I heard it last, unfortunately. Anyway, since you appear to be a 49ers fan, I know you'll do the right thing and choose the other best team out there. Okay, maybe I didn't nail that humbly bit. I love it. I think Dallas is now, I'd love to go to a Dallas game for sure. Haven't been to Dallas. Love to go. My other suggestion is for everyone listening, because I took Jess's suggestion around the holidays and purchased and read Aiden Simpson's Reincarnation of Tom.
Okay.
I loved it. Everyone should read it, and not just because Mr. Simpson has the right connections. It's so funny and thought-provoking. I won't give anything away, but just wanted to say thanks for the recommendation. So there's a suggestion for Matt, a seconded suggestion from Jess and Dave. I can only think to keep being absolutely 100% okay and not at all dead. Seriously though, congratulations on becoming a dad, which is not dead. I hope you're living in sleepless bliss.
Thank you. It's all going
Cheers,
great.
Rebecca.
Didn't sleep that great last night, but I'm feeling in bliss.
And thank you for buying my partner's book, because that contributes to my rent.
That's a good book.
It's a good
Yeah,
book.
that's great.
Yeah,
Reincarnation
that's
of
my
Tom's
good
good
book.
one. If you're gonna buy one of them, buy Reincarnation of Tom. You can get it on ebook, I'm pretty sure too.
Can you?
Yeah.
So you reckon that's better than the more recent one? When
Yeah.
you say you can only buy one?
Yeah. He would back that up.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I don't think that. That's what he would say.
yes. You're
I'm
just
speaking
the
for
messenger.
him. I'm the messenger.
Just the messenger.
Don't shoot me.
Finally, this week we've got one from Pete Holberton, who works for NASA, as you two are well aware.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete Holberton has the name. I mean, I wish he kept the name that I know him as, Steely-Eyed Missile Man.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
God, that's
Let's
a good
see.
nickname.
Let's see what he has.
anyway, Pete's given himself the title of Share of Dull, Boring and Bland Facts.
Then. Okay. Well, I'm going to zone out for a bit then. Thank you, Pete. I have a little break. I've done a lot of talking.
I'll
today.
step up to the plate here, Pete.
So Pete writes, the village of Dull in Scotland has been twinned with Boring in Oregon since 2012.
Is that actually fun by accident?
That fucking rules.
That's really good.
Oh no, I swore. That freaking rules.
Yeah.
I had nothing else. What else do you
That's
say? What
right.
do normal people say?
Effin'?
That absolutely rules? That's disgusting.
You can't just
You can just say that rules.
No, that rules isn't enough.
Means nothing.
In 2013, they were joined by Bland Shire in New South Wales. Dull, Boring and Bland call themselves the League of Extraordinary Communities, though they're also known as the Trinity of Tedium. Thanks for the laughs, as always.
Oh my God, I love that.
That's killer.
That's great fact, Pete.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is so good.
I love it, like, because he's keeping his eyes on the skies, but he's also keeping his eyes on some great facts. Thanks so much to Pete, Rebecca and Piper. The next thing we like to do is shout out to a few of our other fantastic supporters. Jess, you normally come up with a bit of a game based on the topic at hand.
Yeah, so I was thinking, like, if they're doing some sort of journey across their country, what mode of transport, whether it's, like Terry ran,
Right.
that other guy was in a wheelchair, what they're using.
Okay, great. And I think...
What's their gimmick?
Yeah, okay. We had Samuel Johnson do a famous one in Australia on
Yeah.
a unicycle.
Yep, I was
Oh,
just
that's
thinking
right.
of that.
Yeah. And he raised lots and lots of money for that. Good on him.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
All right, so Dave, you want to read them out, and me and Jess will come up with the...
Absolutely. Would love to read out some lovely names from some supporters that, mean the world to us.
I'll give Jess an adjective, and she can then have the mode of transport.
Great.
Love it. All right. First of all, I'd like to thank from Wellington in New Zealand, a place that we dream of visiting one day for some live shows. We'd love to get to New Zealand, all over both islands, but we'll see what we can get to. I'd love to thank from Wellington though, Florence Dean.
Oh, fantastic name.
In a big...
Come on. Zamboni.
Oh, really big?
Really big. And
Is
they're
that,
already
is that an adjective? I think it is. Fell at the
Big.
first hurdle.
I forgot who'd said what word. I'm like, are you saying Zamboni is an adjective? That's great. Florence Dean tearing it up.
Yeah.
Big Zamboni.
Yeah.
I really
killer.
hope... I was going to say, I really hope that you're in an icy place. I guess Wellington can be. It's a windy city. It's known as one of the windiest.
Wow. Take that, Chicago. You
Cop
fucks.
So thanks, Florence. I'd like to also thank from Mount Dandenong, a bit closer to home here in Victoria, Stacey Carpenter.
A fabulous.
Tandem bike.
Oh, yes.
Wow, solo though?
Solo.
That's
It's actually
hard work.
quite clunky, yeah.
That's really hard work.
Yeah. And that's part of the gimmick.
And everyone says, Stacey, do you need a hand? No.
no,
I'm
nobody
fine.
else get on.
It's me. This is my thing.
Yeah. It's nice.
I was supposed to do it with Eric, but he bailed. All right, now I want to show him up. I don't need him.
I don't need you, Eric.
Fuck you, Eric. I mean, stuff you, Eric. I'd like to thank now from location unknown to us. We can only imagine they're deep within the Fortress of the Moles. A big thank you to Simone.
A high octane.
Guitar-shaped motorbike.
Whoa,
That's awesome.
That is sick.
Yeah.
Is that real?
Yeah, it's raising money for music awareness.
Yeah, that is awesome. That would do some damage if it drove into you. It's got like a rocket
It's pretty cool.
attached to the back of it. Are you Googling high octane motorcycle?
Look, there are
Shaped
a
like
lot
a
of
guitar.
them.
Guitar shaped motorbike.
Look at this.
It can't be real.
It just looks dangerous.
It looks like they are riding on the body of the guitar, and then
That looks like maybe AI or something. But yeah.
the neck goes out in
Oh,
front.
yeah. Oh, I like that one. Okay.
That looks fun.
Simone's got to look very cool.
Simone, your email starts with a P, if that makes you know who you are, just in case. Thank you so much. We only read out the information that we've been given. I'd like to thank now from Margate. Margate in Great Britain, probably in Kent. I'd like to thank another single name here, Gareth.
Gareth.
Gareth from Margate.
In an aerodynamic...
Tube.
I mean, rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a nightmare.
Like,
Yeah.
is it like a Pringles tube type thing? Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
And
That
they,
sort
do you reckon they're dancing on top of it, or are they? It's big and they're inside.
A bit of both.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
It's nice to take a break.
Yeah, you gotta have variety, but
You
on top
sleep
you have to
inside
like
of-
you're sort of running backwards very
Mm-hmm.
quickly. Yeah,
Good on you, Gareth.
Maybe like a hippopotamus would in a cartoon about a circus. Or
exactly
something.
right. Yes, yes.
That might be a very specific memory,
No,
or a made-up thing,
I think you're right.
or a real thing.
Now over to Denver in Colorado, where I would like to thank Avery Wiseman.
Oh, I like that.
In the horniest.
Horse. It's got a stiffy the whole
He's
time.
getting distracted.
Yeah.
Right past the paddock. I'll be,
Settle down, those are cows.
Sorry, Matt, that was you on the horse.
yes.
As the horse is running towards something it wants to fuck.
Yeah. And then just holding on for dear life as it fucks.
Yeah. You're at a weird angle. You've got to really engage the core to
Yeah.
stay on the horse.
Geez, that sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Good luck out there, Avery. I would like to thank from Palo Alto in California, it's Amanda Robb.
The mysterious.
Razor scooter.
Oh.
What's so mysterious about it? They've spray painted it black.
Yeah.
We don't know whose it is.
Yeah.
Where'd it come from?
Where'd it come from? It just appeared.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Amanda Robb, you are so mysterious.
The US, that's a big one to get across as well.
Yeah.
On a razor
On a
scooter.
razor scooter.
Still easier than running, surely.
The razor scooter has NOS.
Oh.
Yeah. Just
That's
so you know.
cool.
Whoa.
I would like to thank from Footscray, also here in Victoria, a big shout out to Trav Crappenshits. Trav
That's a beautiful name.
Crappenshits? Crappenshits.
I think it's Krapinchits.
Crappin' shits.
I'm going to go with rambunctious.
Train.
Oh, yeah.
Train.
What's
in
so
a train.
rambunctious about it?
I don't know what rambunctious means.
Toot toot.
That's your rambunctious train?
Toot toot toot. Hey, Trav Crappenshits, you can have whatever you like.
Just
buddy.
enjoying a nice train journey, actually. Yeah, it's quite nice.
I would like to thank from St. Petersburg over in Florida. Thank you to Molly Spuddy or Molly Spuddy.
Molly Spuddy, a diligent.
Diligent dingo.
Oh,
diligent-
okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Eyes on the prize.
that's right. Very focused.
They're hard
dingo.
to write. They're not that
They
big.
are.
Dave, can you do, when I tell you the dictionary definition for rambunctious, can you give me another rambunctious train? Because yours was not. I was like, that's the opposite of rambunctious.
Okay,
Okay, what's rambunctious mean?
Wildly boisterous.
Toot, mother.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
You happier with that?
Difficult to control or handle. Wildly boisterous.
Oh, so you're untamable.
You didn't think
It's like that horse.
you didn't think my first toot toot.
Not obnoxious
Tooty,
enough.
tooty, tooty.
It was cute.
Yeah.
I'm coming through.
Yoo-hoo! I'm a train.
You're a man of words. You know, you're a man of books.
Uh-huh.
And you thought rambunctious meant like meek?
I just like doing a little
Meat
toot
train.
toot sounds quite fun. Toot toot. Toot
Yoo-hoo.
toot toot.
A koi train.
Ooh,
Over here.
Who, me?
And finally, I would like to thank this week from Sparks in Nevada. Thank you to Dana, not Diana,
Okay. Dana has been called Diana a lot, I think.
because it is spelled Daina, and then the surname is not Diana.
Yeah.
Dana, not Diana.
Dana.
Well, that's very American because here we'd say nerd Diana.
Nerd.
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 Nerd Diana.
Is your name Diana? No.
Nerd. Nerd.
It's Dana.
Nerd Dana.
And what's Dana on?
Dana's on a. Geez, the last one. I'm going through so many great options.
I know,
here.
you got heaps, yeah.
Could
What
be
kind
anything.
of thing do you want?
Anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you want to use it.
An all-encompassing.
Orb.
Perfect. Perfect.
Inside the orb.
Inside the orb.
Yes.
Yeah, like zorbing.
Because it's all-encompassing, I guess it's either
It's
side of the
sucking
country all at
everything
once.
in. Yeah, it's actually quite dangerous. I would get out of the way of Dana, not Diana.
And also not Diana.
Diner, not diner. That's
Diner.
for sure.
All meals are included. It's all encompassing.
Thank you so much to Dana, Molly, Trav, Amanda, Avery, Gareth, Simone, Stacey, and Florence. And the last thing we need to do is welcome just the one today, very special inductee into the Triptych Club. Just to quickly let you know, if you don't know, Triptych Club is a very exclusive area for patrons who've been supporting on the shout-out level or above for 3 straight years. Once inside, they're not allowed to leave, but they don't want to anyway.
Why would you want to?
There's no reason to. It got everything you need.
That's ridiculous.
From like ice hockey tables to, like a fridge with multiple drinks in it. Just behind the bar, she's normally putting together a new special cocktail on her ever-expanding menu. I don't think she's included a new digestible drink for a while, but the back catalogue's still there, and there are a lot of good ones. Dave also books a band for the after party.
Oh, man, you're never going to believe her book this week.
What?
We've just mentioned them. This is completely coincidental because obviously there's been a lot of back and forth. They were supposed to come in 4 weeks ago, but then there was a bit of food poisoning, so we've had to bump them to this week. But thank you. Hitting the stage tonight, singer of St. Elmo's Fire, in brackets Man in Motion, John Parr is here.
Whoa,
you got
Parr?
I got Parr, also famous for his number 6 hit, Naughty Naughty.
Oh, I love Naughty
I
Naughty.
don't think I knew he had any other songs.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, if he's going to play Naughty Naughty, whew.
Wow.
How high did Man in Motion get? Is Naughty Naughty his biggest hit?
No, Man in Motion charted at number 1 in the US and number 6 in the UK.
Well, there you go. So good. Also, but it was released in Australia as Flumber Flumber, was it?
Yes.
Gonna be a Flumby Flumber. Flumby Flumby day. They didn't think Man in Motion translated to Australia.
Yeah, we don't get it.
What does that mean? No, we don't get it. No. No.
Yep, that's better.
Thank you. No. Is that closer?
Yep.
No.
So get ready for the musical stylings of John Parr, everyone.
John Parr. And Jess, have you worked on any new dishes this week or drinks?
Well, you made me feel a bit shit before because you said like I haven't said anything that's consumable, but this time I got I made a Terry Fox cocktail.
Oh, cool.
And it's fox blood, and I thought that would.
Okay, yeah, that's consumable.
I thought, yeah,
that's not appetizing.
It's like not. It's not like thick blood. It's like I've diluted it.
In the first few years of it, you made some really delicious sounding cocktails. And now
They're still available.
It does feel like you've lost your mind.
It does really look like.
Well, okay. So the drinks not good, but the old good ones are still available.
Yeah,
but
this is thinned out fox blood.
It's thinned out fox blood, but also dining wise, because our stove's still on the fritz. I have got in some catering from the Four Seasons.
Oh, fantastic!
So it's actually fancy as fuck.
Oh my god, they're the ones who donated.
Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah.
Oh, the Four Seasons.
So it's honestly like it's a level of fancy I'm uncomfortable with.
Yeah,
but some of our Triptych Club members might enjoy it as a little break from really hot soup.
They'd be different. The Four Seasons over in America would be a bit different to ours because we have all our vows in one day in Melbourne. So which is very unique to Melbourne. Nowhere else in the world has that.
Yeah.
We have very changeable weather here and coffee, which other cities don't have.
We don't have it. We do have it. They don't have it.
They don't have it. I really think we should take coffee to the world. I think they'd really enjoy it.
I don't know if they would appreciate it.
I did need to double check though. When he was staying at the Four Seasons, was he staying at the Four Seasons Hotel? Was he staying at the Four Seasons Total Landscaping?
Oh, yeah.
We should double check that. Because that mistake has been made publicly before.
That's true. By the past and future US president. All right. Are we ready?
We're ready.
So the way it works is I'm on the door. I'm the bouncer, basically. I'm the muscle.
Just this once. Yeah, okay, you're the muscle. Just be nice to Dave about his wordplay. Because sometimes you're always like, it's pretty weak, and I just think, I think it deflates him a little bit. So just this time, just try to like.
Oh, that's not for. He's not meant to hear that. That's for the listeners so that they lower their expectations and he can nearly, get over those.
You say it loud enough that he can hear it.
Oh, okay.
And he said to me the other week that it hurts his feelings.
All right, listeners.
Thank you for standing up for me.
Dave does some wordplay to welcome in the inductee, and it's normally dog shit. And I'm only letting you know that just so you're prepared and you actually feel okay
Is he saying
about
something
it.
over there? Can't hear him.
No, we're just pausing for a moment.
So yeah, it's honestly it might make you feel sick with how bad it is, but if it doesn't make you physically vomit, And that's the only way I know how to vomit. If it doesn't make you do that, think of that as a win and just be, all right, so I'm gonna go back to the group now. Okay, so don't tell him he said that because apparently he's a real fragile little bitch. So don't never message him and say that I said this because apparently he's weak as like fine china, which I don't know if that's weak or not, but I couldn't think of an analogy. But you understand.
Fine china. Fucking
all right, I'm back in the room. Jess, why were you eavesdropping on me right then?
No, absolutely not. I was waiting patiently while you obviously had a break for some sort of reason, and now we're ready to finish up.
Break.
We had a little break.
So, all right, Dave's on stage. He's going to hype you up. If you hear your name, run on in. Everyone else is already in the club because they're not allowed to leave. They're there cheering you on. Jess is hyping up Dave. He doesn't need it because his work's so good, but she's there just in case. On the off chance Dave does a really bad dog shit wordplay pun or anything on either their place of residence or their name. All right, here we are. We ready to go?
Hands on the tush. Let's do it.
Welcome in from Blakeview in South Australia. It's Troy Partridge.
Aha! And a Troy in a pear tree. Welcome, Troy.
Knowing me, Dave Warnicky knowing you, Troy Partridge. Aha. Welcome in, Troy. Now, just to go back through those names, welcome, Troy.
Everyone, we give everyone a couple of shout-outs.
Yeah, you must, because you forget.
Enjoy the musical stylings of John Parr.
And for some Foxblood.
That's right. Hang around. And Troy, if you're still in there in 6 years' time, you will be entering into a secret second room, which is the Triple Triptych Club.
Yeah.
Which we're still renovating at this stage.
Yeah, but we have plenty of time.
And we say the kitchen in the main area is on the fritz, but in there it is fully functioning. We've put a lot of the budget into the kitchen in the Triple Triptych Club.
Which we can't use for another 6 years.
Yeah.
So that's a mistake on our part.
We are bad with planning. And, all sorts of stuff we're bad with. But that brings us to the end of the episode. Anything we need to tell people before we go, Jess?
Let's list some of the things we're bad with.
Okay.
Emotions?
Pleasuring. Oh, sorry. I thought we were doing an honest thing here. You're just doing jokes. Yeah, emotions.
Yeah, you're great with emotions, mate. Anyway, I think we need to tell people is that we love them.
Oh, my God.
Bloody hell,
so
we
much.
love you.
Especially the people listening still at this point.
What are you doing with your life?
You might be the only one, and that's why we love you.
Yep.
Can you tweet me and say, I was listening?
And we'll understand.
I will understand, because this will be coming out in about 3 weeks' time.
Yep. That you can suggest a topic. Like we said, so many people suggested this topic. I really hope our Canadian listeners, were happy with that report. And you can suggest a topic. There's a link in our show notes. It's also on our website, which is dogoonpod.com. And you can find us on social media at dogoonpod as well. And Do Go On Podcast on TikTok. Dave, boot this baby home.
Hey, we'll be back next week with another episode. We will not be stopped, but until then, I'll say thank you so much for listening and goodbye.
Later. We will not be stopped.
I want to get the last word in. Word.